This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, the dogs are down there, but I couldn't get that camera to work. So, come here. Come here, Chloe. See, there's Chloe. She's still around. She's still out there. Alright? Okay. Blue is right back here. He's... See, Blue's here too, okay? Except he's got his butt in my face, so I gotta... Oh. Yeah. Ugh. So we're doing another show today. Obviously, I do shows every single day. So there you go. So let's see. Zozo sent me this thing on. Remember the PI that I was telling you about that was on my show regarding now I can't remember the other guy's name. Hall, Jed Hall in Idaho. Yeah, and he's just a really, something's off with that guy. Okay, now people go, well, he solved. Who knows? Who knows what that guy's ever done? I really don't know. Don't really care. But he was on another show regarding Dylan Rounds. And he just went nuts. I mean, he was like, just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. But anyways, so then today, the family said, regarding James Terry, that's the PI's name, is no longer working on behalf of the Rounds Cooley family. Effective immediately, Mr. James Terry is not investigating, nor is the spokesperson for the family of Dylan Rounds. Please direct tips and leads to the Elko County Sheriff's Department or Box Elder County Sheriff. For clarification, the family had a difference of opinion on the direction to take with the investigation and on the role the family should hold. Our roles as the family and the PI for the family are to be active collectors of information. Information gathered should then be passed on to law enforcement to actively investigate. Mr. Terry, however, has focused on small-town rumors and conspiracy theory that we therefore decided to go our separate ways. Now, once we decided to go a different direction, unethically, Mr. Terry is taken to sharing these rumors, conspiracy theories, and crazy accusations into the public eye. As a result, we have focused on finding information to hand over to law enforcement for them to investigate, and do not condone Mr. Terry's actions or handling of the information since we have parted ways. Well, there you go. So that's exactly what I was telling you guys the other night. I mean, that guy is... So, you can do it with what you want, but you would never want somebody like him working on an investigation. All right, It's just it's too over the top. You need to have somebody that's professional and knows what the hell they're talking about. All right? Awesome. By the way, the people that played the where the hell was that? Yeah, that didn't play, but they sent in super chats yesterday. I think I'm just going to do a spin really quick for all of them for playing anyways. I mean, we've really been struggling. I've said that many times. It's like, you know, but they were here and I'm going to do it. So where the hell is it? We're going to just do it for the notebook though. Alright, so, I mean, you'll see just based on the screen how, you know, ridiculous it's become. I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, I know the economy is bad, but, you know, I think it's something else. Alright, let's do the, Alright, so here are the people from yesterday. You can win the notebook. Yeah. I don't think it's you know, everyone's still working though, Brittany. That's the thing. It's just choosing. So here we go. And if you weren't working, there's a lot of jobs out there. Oh, look at that. Classical guitarist from yesterday. There you go. All right, there you go. That send me your address and I'll send you the notebook. Yeah, everything's going up, yep. But the charities and my channel also need support to be able to keep doing what we're doing. You know, so sometimes, you know, it's important. All right, let me move on to the... There we go. Yeah, yep. So, like usual, if you guys would like to help out my channel, and we do this every single night, we've got the super chats and PayPal, and if you send in PayPal, you get 1.5 times the chances. So every $5 you get a extra chance to win the mug. We haven't been able to give out a mug for a long time, but you know, the notebook's out there. So if you'd like to get a notebook and have a chance at one anyways, then that's what you do. Well, who knows if he is, Zozo, but the thing is once you realize that he isn't ethical, who cares? You know, it's like everybody can be accidentally lucky. We had the same thoughts. Is it possible that? Okay, we said that before he even came out. All right.
Huh?
Thanks, Ria Mazarone. Yeah, I mean, we had the same thoughts he did, right? Yeah. Okay, so then let's move over to this one here. So I decided I'll just do this in slow-mo. So if you don't like to watch police interactions and stuff like that, then you probably don't want to watch this.
Huh?
Thanks, Kathy Fredmaker. Hey, look at that. It's Crystal, aka Beaver Gaming Sub Crystal. Wow. I haven't seen her in like 1,000 years. Yeah. So I just recorded it from, is it playing right? Yeah. So you can see in this instance right here. The officers actually pulled over this 17-year-old black male right here. He has nothing to do with what's going on other than the fact that the officer pulled him over, okay? All right, so he's pulled over the 17-year-old, and when you go like this, you can see in the background way over here, this car turns way back there. And it's actually coming.
Yeah, there's
a car right there, right?
Alright, you can take a picture and send it to me.
Who are you, dude? Who are you?
Yeah, so this guy, he just drives up and he says, "Who are you?" And he steps out of the car. And then look at the officer's already got his gun out because he knows, he can see that in his right hand he's got a hatchet, an axe. Look at that thing. Can you see it right there? This happened on June 3rd. And it happened in Naperville, Illinois Police Department. So right there, look at that. You can just see it right in his hands right there. Right? And then the officer shoots him 6 times. And then you can see the axe drop. Look at that right there. I mean, that's crazy, right? And then out of the backpack, it looks like some canisters fall out, like either, looks like maybe pills of some sort. And, you know, the guy looks like he's instantly paralyzed and he struggles to survive and everything. You know, like he makes the death groan sound and everything. I mean, he ends up dying, you know. But he can't move his legs or anything, and he's, but, that just shows you what officers have to deal with, though. I mean, isn't that crazy? That you've got this officer just talking to this other person, and then this guy comes out of nowhere, pulls up, comes out, and tries to hit him with a hatchet. And then you wonder why police officers sometimes, here's the thing. The best public service announcement there is out there, when an officer tells you to do something, do it. Okay? Just do exactly what they tell you to do. And then don't come rushing up to an officer. Well, you're going to get killed if you come rushing at an officer with an axe, no matter what. Okay? You're going to die. Yeah, so it's, kudos to the officer for being quick enough to shoot this guy. Later on, other police officers show up and they're really concerned for their fellow officer, and they take this guy up to the hospital, but absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever with what the police did here. So he's on the ground for a while, then the other officers show up. He's not alive. Like, he's not even alive when they sit him up right here. Showing Zozo, she was wondering about, like, you don't see blood or anything on the ground. I think he's just got so much clothing on and stuff underneath. He was shot in the front, so maybe the blood just kind of stayed in his clothing up above. And if a lot of times if you don't get shot in like a main artery or something, you don't bleed as much. So that's it. So I thought I'd just do it in slow-mo. Maybe if it's full speed, it's less digestible. It's like, you just see him, he just shoots 5 times. It's not even really, like, disturbing or anything, but I was just letting you know. I already put the warning at the beginning of the show, but there it was. Pretty crazy, huh? There was actually another angle too from behind, his vehicle filmed as well as he was going the other direction. So from behind the guy, and you could see it, but I didn't record that one. All right, well that's it on that. Hey, thanks, Colin. Alright, let's see. I'm just going to get rid of that. We already read that. Yeah, so I'm just going to get to this. I'm not, you know, I am going to be reading again, so it's going to probably be another ridiculous night, but we'll see how it goes. Didn't matter before, but. Alright, here we go, here we go. I'm not sure if I have the bots working. I'll try. Hold on, let me turn them on. Yeah, the bots don't seem to help that much, but I'll turn them on. Yeah, there it doesn't work anymore. So I don't know what's going on. Something happened on my computer where things aren't working that once worked. So I don't know what to say. Yeah, so that's not working anymore. Yeah, I don't see it. Thanks, Tony Lee and Brenda R. But yeah, it's not even working at all. Might have to reinstall it or something. I don't know. Let me try it. Let me try it again. Do you want to allow this app? Yeah. Oh, there it was. It's been blocked. Hold on. I have to fix this really quick.
Thank
Was
you, Grant,
blocked
for
in your
all you do.
device. Yeah, so that thing was blocked on my by my virus software, but why wasn't it blocked before though? Well, I'll have to do that later, maybe on a break. It's not going to work. I think I deleted something that it needed to not be blocked earlier. So thank you, Tanya Lee, and put that in there. Tanya Lee and Brenda R. Yeah, so the stream bots aren't going to be working. Sorry about that. No, I think it was my, you know, maybe I can just turn this damn thing off for a while. Let's see. Now, if I turn that sucker off, what happens then? Hold on. Is it gonna work? I'm not going to be going to any websites or anything, so maybe it'll work. Hey, it might work. It might work. Ah, look at that. Look at that. All right, try him now. Try him now. Might work. All right, so this is the case of Sabrina Gene Kane. No, I didn't. I'm not going to keep. I'm not still researching the shooting. I just wanted to show people the shooting. Either way, it was a guy that had an axe, got out of a car, and got killed by the police officer. Right? That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not. I didn't keep looking into it. You know, it's just the main part was this is something police officers have to be aware of. You know, he probably ended up saving the life of somebody else, because where was that guy heading? Like, for example, if the cop wasn't there on the road, where was that guy going? You know, you might want to look up the story. Maybe there's a write-up on it somewhere. Hey, all right. Well, I'm glad you're a freak, Brenda. I'm just going back in time in this story, even though this part here doesn't have any. There's an okay. In this case, there's a police officer that people think might be related to what happened. You know, that it's actually the stepfather of the murdered girl. You know, her name is Sabrina Gene Kane. He's a police officer, and he became one of the suspects, or the main suspect in it. So, like, here is the, whoa. You know, this is other times where he's mentioned all the time, because, you know, when they were making arrests back then in a small town, they would mention him. So it says, yesterday was a bad day for Fred Rourke. That's his name. That's the police officer's name. 23 of 72 Highway Lane, and his wife, Larna, 28. At 6 p.m., Rourke told deputy sheriffs, this is before he was a police officer, that a 6-foot, 200-pound vandal used a chain and broke the windshield and a pane of glass in an auto he was using. The incident occurred while the car was parked at a hotel in the 5900 block of St. Clair Avenue. So, you know, maybe that's one of the reasons he became a police officer. Who the hell knows? And then we've got 4 drivers. This is 1968. 4 drivers arrested here. 4 motorists were arrested Wednesday by Bellevue police and ordered to report later. Wayne K. Irvin, 31, Jerseyville, was charged with operating a truck with license plates issued for his auto. Then down here it says, to North 17th Street with speeding, and Fred W. Rourke, 25 of 539 6th Street with speeding and failure. So he was, you know, speeding around in his vehicle. He also would be in, like, shooting competitions. So you got a 1971. Now he's a police officer here. Practice shots before competing in the Illinois Police Department riot gun trap shoot Sunday at Lincoln are several Bellevue Police Department officers as patrolmen. And then, let's see, right here, police rifle, let's see, at the Bellevue Police Rifle Range, patrolman Fred Rourke left. So this guy right here. And Dale Wagner and Corporal Tom Burns await their turns. Alright, so this guy's shooting, then you got 1, 2, boom. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'm still the Addison County DNA collection part's been tough, but I appreciate that. I mean, the only way we're able to keep doing stuff like that is if we keep, you know, finding a way to generate income on the channel through super chats, PayPal, whatever. Other than that, we'll just kind of be relegated back down to the other channels who do absolutely nothing for anybody at all. So I don't want to be one of those.
Ocean wave, I can't wait for that feeling when we give the next Jane/John Doe their name back.
But thank you,
Thanks,
Amber.
Gray.
Yep. Yeah, there's 2 cases in the works right now. The DNA off of a cigarette butt in one case, and then also the Addison County, that's the 1934 Triple Doe case. Yeah. All right, and then here we go. This is apparently him in this picture. Right there. Car accident. Patrolman Fred Rourke puts finishing touches to his report after an auto struck a power pole. So that's him right here. This is 1971. So he must have become a police officer in between 68 and 71. And then he was also part of arresting 6 youths on narcotic and park violations in 1972. So I was wondering if there's any sort of connection with that. With a span of less than 7 hours, Patrolman Fred Rourke and John Oakes arrested 6 persons in Bellevue Park Friday. 4 were charged under the Drug Control Act and 2 girls were charged with curfew violations. The arrest began at 3:24 p.m. when Rourke and Oakes arrested Stanley A. Goodwin, 21, and so they go through the people that were arrested, but so there he is. He's busting kids for drugs. And then this was kind of strange because Sabrina Gene Kane went missing on February 5th, 1974. That's the last time anybody saw her. And then he's actually in the paper on the 6th. And you'd think, oh wow, he's going to be in there for reporting. But it's just 2 men charged. 2 19-year-old men were charged with possession of a controlled substance after police said they found marijuana. Sergeant William Starms and Patrolman Fred Rourke arrested Gary, so they go through the names of the people. So, I mean, you've got this situation where, if he has something to do with it, he's out there working, patrolling, and he's even in the paper regarding another arrest he made the next day. And then there is another, not sure why it keeps opening up over there. Come on. I'll just leave it over here. So Bellevue police today are holding 1 suspect and seeking another for a theft of a stereo equipment. And again, he's in here at 3:45 a.m. today. Police Sergeant Robert Eckert and William Starms and Patrolman Fred Rourke spotted 2 suspicious men near Main and 14th Street. So he's in the paper again. That was on the February 20th. But keep in mind, at this point, his stepdaughter is missing. And she's been missing since a day before that last article. So he's just out and about. But nobody knows that she's missing. That's the thing. She wasn't reported missing for way over a month. Hey, thank you very much, Sabrina Hennessy. Oh, thank you. You should communicate more in here. Chat away.
Hi guys.
You never know what somebody
I'm
might come up
just
with.
usually in the shadows and don't say much. I love this channel and the lives every night and just wanted to say hi y'all. Call me.
What's that last? What did it call that icon? It said "Call me." Oh, call me. Okay. To me, it looks like like a shaka. I get it. All right, now we're on April 22nd, April 22nd, 1974. So, she'd been missing a long time, but she wasn't reported missing for like 6 weeks by her mom or the stepdad. You got to admit, like that, there's something wrong with that. St. Louis County authorities today sought a motive in the gangland-style slaying of Sabrina Gene Kane, 18, of Belleville. Miss Kane's body was found floating in a small lake south of U.S. Let's see where that is. So Belleville. Let me just get to Belleville here, and then that should be good. There's the alien. Alright. Did you find anything on that, Zozo? What you were looking for? I didn't keep looking into it. Alright, and then we're going to get the folder in there. Alright. And let's go to Belleville. Belleville. Hey, thanks 2 cents. 2 cents is the first person ever to comment on anything that I ever did on social media. That's pretty funny.
Chewbacca?
I guess these 2 stories in a row from Illinois, right?
I'm here, just stalking your cool face.
What's this one here? What case is this? Why do we have another one? Oh, that was the Sherry case. So I did cover that one. That was what was so weird, is there was another body found in 1977, but it turns out that was part of a serial killer. Oh, you're a freak. You're a freak. 2 cents. See, you're green and. Oh, cool. His family apologized. We're good for them. Yeah, that's a family that gets it. You know, they're not bitching and moaning that the cop did something wrong. You know. That's interesting. When did I cover that? That was January this year. Huh. What are the odds? Alright, so this is in Belleville here. We're back on... I know you're trying to help Windows, but you don't need to like spread everything out. You know. All right. You ever see the green channel? I don't know what that means. Alright. So Miss Kane's body was found floating in a small lake south of US 460 Saturday. Sheriff's officers said she had been shot 3 or 4 times in the head and once in the back. But listen to this part. Her hands were tied behind her and a concrete block was fastened to her body with a rope. Authorities identified the decomposed body Sunday through a school ring and clothing. Miss Kane had been missing since February 5th. 2 men discovered the body while target shooting near the lake. Then the next day, gangland style, I think it's going to be about the same. Yeah, it looks about exactly the same. Alright, so that was the next day, and then on the 25th, back then, sometimes it took a day or 2 for another paper to get the information. Alright, so this one says, this is April 25th, 1974. A suspect in the Sabrina Gene Kane murder case has declined to take a lie detector test, although earlier in the week he had agreed to submit to a test, the News Democrat learned today. Timothy Fleming, a lawyer for his suspect, declined to confirm or deny the report, but from sources in the sheriff's and state's attorney's office, the News Democrat was informed this morning about the new decision. I cannot discuss this case, Fleming said. State Attorney Robert H. Rice also refused to discuss the case, but did not deny plans for the lie test had been canceled. I'm not going to try this case in the newspaper, said Rice. Today, Rice and deputy sheriffs returned to a farm near Belleville to continue for spent bullets in an effort to match 3 slugs taken from Miss Kane's body. She had been shot in the head, back, and shoulder with bullets fired from a .38 caliber weapon. Huh. Well, that's kind of interesting that she's found in a lake, but they figured out where she was shot. On Tuesday, Rice, his chief investigator Ray Herr, and Sheriff Sergeant Charles N. Earhart dug up a small truckload of dirt from the farm. The ground was sifted Wednesday, but failed to disclose material clues. Rice declined to discuss today operation, but it was learned 4 wheelbarrows and a large truck from a county highway department, along with a force of deputies, are digging in other sections of the farm. The News Democrat learned that the suspect was questioned for about 2 hours Monday night in Rice's office. But he did tell authorities he owns a .38 caliber weapon and had done some target shooting on the farm, where digging operations are being conducted. Interesting. It was also during this questioning that he agreed to take a lie detector test. At that time, he had no lawyer. Presumably, he changed his mind after talking to his attorney. He also told authorities he never lost or misplaced the .38 caliber weapon. Same time, Miss Kane's weighted body was recovered from a pond on the Hilpert C. Forney property of Town Hall Road. Let's see where Town Hall Road is. Okay. So there you go. That's Town Hall Road. So we'll just put a pin on Town Hall Road, and maybe at some point we'll get closer. Miss Kane, who lived with her stepfather and mother, patrolman, and Mrs. Fred Rourke. See, that's kind of interesting, right? Because the person they're talking about in this article is Fred Rourke. So right here they just mention his name, but maybe they didn't realize that when they were doing the article. But Miss Kane, who lived with her stepfather and mother, patrolman, and Mrs. Fred Rourke at 419 North 38th Street. Okay, so she lived right there, not too far away actually from. Okay. That looks like that's probably been either completely remodeled or, you know, re-sided and re-roofed so it looks new, you know. I guess we could tell a little bit if we went up in the air and went back to like 1990. Did it change much? Okay, so in 2004 it had a... Whoa, what happened? My mouse just got really slow. What's it doing? You gotta have to go like a mile to get... What if I lost the Oh, there it is. Hold on a second. My mouse is moving like... You have to move it 1,000 times to go 2 feet. Device DPI set to 40. I don't want it set to that. Hold on. Logitech. Now I gotta go over here. Man, you get a new computer and you're hoping, oh yeah, everything's gonna be so great. It turns out it's not really that great. Alright, how do I get this thing to move quicker? Oh, is that what that is? Is it a button on the side, maybe? I don't know. Hold on a second, you guys. Here, let me show you what I'm doing here. Yeah, I can look how many. I have to move it so much to get to here. This is apparently my mouse, and it just changed in the middle of for no reason that I'm aware of to this really slow. Oh, there we go. Yeah, way down there for some unknown reason. Let me move this. Yeah, there we go. God. Here, I'll move it to about right here. God, that's crazy. Why did it do that to me? Yeah, 38 caliber, they said. All right. Okay, yeah, I think what we were doing was looking at it. So it has two sections of the house. What does it look like now? Yeah, that looks like it's totally different. So that's not the same house that was there back then. All right, so now we're moving to the 26th. And they found bullets. I mean, that's pretty amazing. County investigators have recovered a number of spent .38 caliber and .380 caliber bullets similar to the fatal slugs in the Sabrina Gene Kane murder. They were found Wednesday in 5 tons of dirt taken from a farm near Belleville, where a suspect in the case frequently went target shooting. Sheriff Sergeant Charles N. Ahart and Ray Herr, chief investigator for the state attorney's office, declared, "We found some spent bullets during the 6-hour digging." The dirt was hauled to the county jail in a county highway department dump truck and will be shifted today, and sifting is expected to take at least a day. So investigators are looking for .38 caliber bullets to match the 3 slugs taken from the body of Miss Cain, 18. She had been shot in the head, back, and shoulder. The suspect admits he did some target shooting on the farm prior to the death of Miss Cain. Steadfastly maintaining his innocence, he has told authorities he owns a .38 caliber gun, but it disappeared about the same time Miss Cain's weighted body was recovered. Okay. I mean, Jesus, really? Like, I have a .38 caliber. Oh, wow! I just lost it the day before you guys found her body. It's weird. Thursday's extended search was the second made by investigators. A small truckload of dirt was removed Tuesday. Armed with a search warrant obtained from Circuit Judge John Hoban and petition filed by State Attorney Robert H. Rice, deputies returned to the farm. I wish we knew where the farm was. Miss Cain, who lived with her stepfather and mother, patrolman, and Mrs. Fred Rourke at 419. Okay. All right, so then we can go to the 29th of April. There's a picture of the pond. So pond being drained for murder evidence. So she was found floating in that pond, hands tied behind her back, and was weighted down with a cement block. The pond on Wilbert C. Forney property off Town Hall Road. Wilbert C. Forney. You know what? Let's try. I'm gonna try a stab in the dark at Ben Verified and see if he lived there for. If he lived there even like 10 more years, it might make it in here. Let's see. Hilbert C. Forney in Belleville, Illinois. All right, let's see. He'd probably be 100 and something. Now it says 97. So that's right there. That makes sense. He died in 96. And where did they say this was? Town Hall Road. Well, I have this address at one point, so let's see where this is. We're in that direction. So he lived there once. Wow, that's not the pond, is it? Let me put a pin here for where he lived at one point. This is Hilbert. I mean, how many Hilbert Fournies are going to be living in that town, right? I mean, that's, I don't know, Gray. Hilbert's pretty common for. And the cool thing is online, somebody had already got a 100-page FOIA document on this case. So I don't know. I might even extend this one, depending how interesting it is. We'll see. So you got that address. Now that's the only address listed in there. So I do not know for sure. I mean, it's pretty close to that road over here, but let me check something. Yeah, I was just wondering if it was different back then. Could have been. I mean, this is 1974, so. Hey, Blue. Alright. The pond on the Hilbert Forney property off Town Hall Road in Stookie Township is being drained today in a search for material evidence in the murder of Miss Sabrina Gene Kane, 18. Forney says the average depth of the lake is 4 feet, but there are holes as deep as 8 feet. Miss Cain waded and bullet-ridden body was found in the lake 9 days ago. She had been shot 3 times with a 38 caliber with 38 caliber bullets. The girl had been missing since February 5th, but her disappearance was not reported to authorities until March 22nd. Doesn't that bother some of you a little bit? Like, she went missing on the 5th, but was not reported missing until March 22nd. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Rice said the draining operation was necessary if we are to exhaust every possible avenue in the investigation. Primarily, we are looking for a 38 caliber pistol and other clues that may help our case. He revealed investigators found a woman's shoes Friday along the tiers who searched the premises Saturday, found a matching shoe, Rice said. An investigation is being pressed to determine ownership of the shoes. A week ago tonight, the suspect said he would take a lie detector test Wednesday. He announced that he had reconsidered the decision. Let me see. So the guy that waited 6 weeks to report her missing, the guy whose 38 caliber pistol goes missing miraculously just before she's found, was once going to take the lie detector test and now isn't going to. I mean, I know it's smart not to take the lie detector test. Okay? But when you're a police officer, you're actually required to do whatever the hell they want you to do if you want to keep your job. Rice also revealed examination of 5 tons of dirt dug up on the farm near Belleville Thursday yielded a number of spent bullets. So the farm, though... Oh, no, the pond is on the Hilbert C. Forney property off Town Hall Road. So that's where the farm is. That's where the pond is. Let me just see if it's something that randomly is still there. That's a pond. So, I mean, we could just put a couple... These other things aren't ponds. Like, that's not water right there. That's one right there. Alright, hold on. Oh, shoot. that a pond? That's one right here. Covered with some... I mean, that's like... I guess that's a pond. Well, there's one there too. I mean, they're all over the place, so... Well, maybe there isn't as many as I was thinking, but... I mean, this is 1974. It might not even be there anymore. Anyways, those look like pretty much there was another little tiny one right there. And we'll see which one of these turns out to be it. Yeah, okay. Hold on, I gotta mark something here. Alright, I just got an email from something. I'm just gonna go through the articles, and when we get there, hopefully that'll end up being at that spot. Alright? I see what you wrote there, but I'm just going to go through and see if it leads us right to that one. And then if it does, then that'll be awesome. Alright. Let me go to the next one. It takes away the joy. Attorney, so here we go. Now it says attorney acknowledges client is suspect in the killing. Yeah, I was thinking of going to... You're talking about the address of the barn? Or the farm, the actual pond. Yeah, I think that's the one I already had, yeah. The one that you have. He's right, yeah, I already got that one. Dan, right there, look. 2700 Beltway, Hilbert Fourney. Except they said that his farm is on this road right here. So he may have lived here his whole life. I didn't see any... There is a pond right there, but... you know, I was thinking maybe at one point the road may have went over there and it was called that. You know, so we could put a pin on, you know, like this one and this one over here just to, you know, check them out later. But the thing is, apparently it's off of this road, but you know, who knows? Maybe back in the day this road went over here and his farm was off like that right there. Maybe that actually connected. I mean, we're talking 1974. They changed a lot of stuff. Yeah, he was in Ben Verified, same thing. Yeah, that's somewhere else. It's not near the road. Alright, let's see. Was I on 430? Yeah. Attorney acknowledges client is a suspect. One of Rourke's lawyers, James J. Garmick, said he would file during the day a petition in circuit court to prevent the Belleville Board of Police and Fire Commissioners from forcing his client to take a lie detector test. Individual defendant in the petition will include Richard Hilgard and Clarence Rapp, co-chairman of the board. Rice revealed that during the questioning, Rourke admitted he was the owner of a .38 caliber pistol. Miss Cain was shot 3 times. Was shot 3 times with this type of gun, but said the gun disappeared about the time his stepdaughter's body was recovered. I mean, it's just, wow, that's weird. I mean, he had the gun the whole time, thinking, well, they'll never find her weighted down in a pond. Oh, crap, they found her. Where did my gun go? That's so weird. You guys won't be able to do a comparison now with the bullet casings. Wow, it's just, I mean, I apologize. I tell you what, though, I'm absolutely innocent. I'm completely innocent, everybody. It's just, I wish I could prove it. If I could just find that gun again. Wow. I mean, they were already interested in this guy. And then the gun goes missing. Or hell, maybe that's even what made him more interested. Rice revealed that during the questioning, Rourke admitted, Okay, Rice also announced the circuit court grand jury that holds a session Thursday will hear some evidence in the case, but declined to reveal the witness he plans to call. Rice said he expected the grand jury investigation to last for several weeks. 2 days after agreeing to take the test, Rourke notified authorities he had reconsidered and would not submit to the examination. Last Friday, Rourke, Gomrick, and his lawyer, Timothy Fleming, conferred with the chief, Mercurio. During the conference, Mercurio indicated he would take the case before the public board unless Rourke agreed to the test. Now, let's see. The turn of events came as investigators continued to supervise the draining of a pond on the Hilbert C. Forney property off Town Hall Road. Right? It is Town Hall Road, right? It's built, yeah, so that's something different, yeah. Where the victim's body was found, 2 pumps owned by the East Side Levee and Sanitary District are being used. Both pumps broke down this morning, but repairs are being made and the draining is expected to resume later in the day. It is believed another 24 hours will be required to complete the operation. So far, said Rice, we have not uncovered any material clues in the draining operation. Earlier, the state attorney disclosed the finding of a pair of women's shoes in the pond area. Miss Cain disappeared from her home at 419 North 38th Street last February, but the disappearance was not reported to authorities until March 22nd. And then Fred Rourke, this guy right here's gun, mysteriously goes missing almost exactly when her body was found and shot with the same type of gun that Fred Rourke had. He knew that if they didn't have the gun to perform tests on, here's what I actually think, that all law enforcement guns should be fired through, get the fingerprint of the bullets, if you know what I'm saying, like the striations and all that kind of stuff, and just have those on records for all officers, and that way if something ever does come up like that, you can test it. Because this guy knew that they don't do that, so he just threw his gun away, and there's no way to put a bullet in it and fire it and compare it. All right. Well, don't you guys want to have a chance to win the notebook at least, you guys? I mean, it's a really cool notebook. Let me show you this notebook. I mean, it is fantastic. See, now I'm having to just really sell on here, But anyways, here it is. Look at that. Grant Hughes Investigates. It's not even that bad of a notebook. It has the pages. It's got this pen right there. All right. And if you don't win, by God, it still helps out the channel and the charities. I mean, we've already done 500 this month. 2 months ago, our channel donated $5,000 something to charity. Last month it was $4,000 something, which is like on par with last month. And this month, based on what's going on right now, if we get to 2,500, it'd be a miracle. So I'm hoping that somehow, we can, get something going on in our minds differently. But it does suck out there. It sucks. I'm just not sure what to do. It's up to you guys. I see. This is exactly why, for example, though, I'm just going to let you know. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you gotta think about when you're a YouTube creator. It's like I could never actually have this be my permanent job, and it's because of like this situation right here. Because here's what the difference is. So when you've got like you're out there in the world and you're let's say you owned a Starbucks and you spent all your day making Starbucks coffees for people, let's say you spent all this time making movies for people. A movie, that's a good example. And you made a movie, and everybody would go watch the movie, and they'd help watch the movie. They paid for their tickets and all that kind of stuff, and watch the movies and keep the theater open and all that. But in my situation, I'm still doing the movie every single day, except and everybody's still watching the movies. It's just all of a sudden now it's way less income coming in on the movies. I don't know if that's a perfect example, but it's weird because I still keep doing the shows, It's not like it's any different. Well, the notebook, you can either send a $25 on PayPal and you just get a notebook. You have to give me your address. Or you can send in any $5 you get into the I don't know what you call it, the spin at the end of the show that might land on it. Hey, thanks, Lane S. Yeah, so a $25 on PayPal, or the $5 you get into the spin, but every $5 you get an extra chance. So if you send in on Super Chats $10, you get 2 chances, 15-3. If you send in a PayPal, you get the notebook at $25, and you get your 5 chances at a spin. Now, we used to be where we were giving out mugs every night, so it was kind of cool, but now we're not even close to that. Yeah. So, I'm not sure, but that's kind of where I'm, when I explain this to you guys, that's what it feels like. You still put the same effort in every single night for all the freaks, and everybody's still watching, but then everything just collapsed into like a third of what it used to be. So it's like I'm still producing the same, Yeah, the shipping, I've already bought the whole box of these things, so in the United States, it's like if you're in a UK or something like that, the 25 doesn't really work. You have to send in like 35 or something. It's just too much. Like I'd actually send something else if you if you won in the spin at the end, because it costs $20 just to ship the notebook to the UK. I mean, it was like, are you kidding me? Yeah. All right. So when I say those, when I just went through that whole spiel, does it make any difference to you guys? Or let's see. All right. So let me go. I'm gonna go to this one. No lie test. Patrolman Fred Rourke of the Belleville Police Force will not have to take a lie detector test. A St. Clair County Circuit Court judge has ruled. Circuit Judge Joseph F. Cunningham ruled that an order for Rourke to take the test violated Rourke's constitutional rights against self-incrimination. Yeah, he doesn't have to do anything, but his job is at jeopardy. In jeopardy if he doesn't do it, right? Acting Police Chief Michael Mercurio ordered Rourke to take the test in connection with the death of Rourke's stepdaughter. So again, that was a stepdaughter. You sort of wonder what was going on. Yes, you helped out. Hey, thanks. 2 cents. Yeah, it's okay. It just is what it is. At St. Clair County, I'm still going to be doing my shows every single day, you know. And thank you, TTJO on PayPal. Yeah, okay, hold on. Acting Police Chief Michael Mercurio ordered Rourke to take the test in connection with the death of Rourke's stepdaughter. At St. Clair County grand jury Thursday began investigating Rourke concerning the death of Sabrina Gene Kane. Ms. Kane's body was found April 21st in a pond in Stokey Township. She had been shot several times.
No chance I owe you a penny.
Hey, there you go. Well, no, that's all right. Thank you. Been shot several times and her hands have been tied behind her back. A concrete block had been tied to her waist. Thanks, Crystal A. Crystal, aka Beaver Gaming sub Crystal. It confuses me when you have it like that. Hey, thanks, 2 cents. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. And I got, you know, it's what I like to do, you know. But one of the things that was really a huge part of what we do that separated the freaks from everybody else is, you know,
keep doing what you do.
The support really for the channel, but mainly, you know, the tremendous amount of money we've sent to charity. Because if you look at this number right here, 2020 was $22,000. 2021, during the height of the pandemic, you know, the whole year of nothingness, you know, was so supportive in here, we donated $42,500. This is from the income from the channel, right? Then this year so far, we're already at $22,250. I think it might be a little bit higher than that. And that was through May. And I was thinking, man, if we did another, you know, maybe at the end of the month we'll be at 25,000. I mean, and then if we did the rest of the year, it'd be 50,000. But the reduction in what we're doing here is going to dramatically. So then it'd be more like, let's see, 25, and then the next 6 months would be, if we did 2,000 a month, it'd be 12,000 plus 25, it'd be 37, which is, you know, better than the first year, but wouldn't be anywhere near what we'd been doing. So we've donated, this channel has donated 87,000, or let's see, is it 86,650 or $750. Yeah, I mean, that's nuts, right? I wonder if it's more than that. I gotta go add this stuff up again. Anyways, thank you guys. Thank you, 2 cents. There's a rap with that in it. Yeah, it's pretty amazing, you know. Yeah, I could see doing a 24-hour marathon and bringing in about the same amount as a regular night. So that would be really frustrating. Can't do it. A St. Clair County grand jury Thursday began investigating Rourke concerning the death of Sabrina Gene Kane. Kane's body was found April 21st in a pond. Her hands had been tied behind her back. A concrete block had been tied to her waist. That's just nuts. We've had other ones like that. Hey, thank you very much, Mrs. Ryan. Wow. Very cool, very cool. Almost almost has a feel of normalcy for a minute.
Chewbacca?
Well, the thing is, Crystal, is nobody's really losing their job. You know, what sucks is how, you know, inflation's affecting the price of everything. I mean, you know, here's the thing. You can hate Trump, but he told everybody during the election exactly what was going to happen. He literally said out loud, he said, you're going to see $5, $6, $7 a gallon gas, and you're going to see a recession and inflation if he wins. And boom. I mean, it was like, that's exactly what was promised, and that's exactly what happened. Okay? So everyone just needs to go, hey, this is how it's supposed to be, and act the same, because, you know. Hey, thank you, Mrs. Ryan. Yeah, so that's the part that's crazy, right? I mean, it was absolutely accurate, you know, like what was said. Oh, yeah? Hey, thanks. You're Gypsy. All right, you get the... I'll send you one. Awesome. I got to figure out a different way to ship to like the UK or something. Maybe there's a website. I mean, I was shocked when it was cost $20. But. Yeah. And the funny thing is all it takes is a couple words said here and there, and the economy would sort of, you know, if you just started saying, you know what we're going to do? We're going to start opening up, you know, drilling and maybe build some refiners. Just the sentiment itself would, you know. I mean, the thing is I don't know what the happy medium is at the gas price, right? Because right now it's ridiculously high. Oil companies and everybody are making a shitload of money. But, you know, that's because if you have somebody telling everybody you're going to shut down this, you're going to destroy this, well, you got to start making your money. You know, the way it should be done is you produce as much energy as you can at the cheapest cost possible for the consumers as you develop the other alternative forms, you know, like, you know, maybe electric cars or hybrid cars, something like that. But that might take a long time. But you can't just sort of go, we're going to punish you all into using windmills. Give me a break. All right? It just doesn't work. All right. So, anyways, this guy isn't going to take the lie detector test. And where are we at now? That was 4:30. Now we're on to May. No, that was May 3rd. Then May 16th, 1974. We've got this one right here. And I apologize if what I just said bugged the hell out of you guys again. There's always somebody out there that gets offended if you say anything at all against the guy that's in there. Patrolman Fred Rourke had been ordered by Acting Police Chief Michael Mercurio to take the test as part of investigation. Mercurio ordered involved coerced self-incrimination and was not directed to Rourke's conduct as a police officer, but on its face it is patently wrong and violates constitutional rights against self-incrimination. He ruled on a petition filed by Rourke seeking a court injunction against the test. Miss Cain, 18, was found shot 3 times in the head in a pond. The sheriff's office has made no arrests in the case, but a county grand jury began an investigation of the incident Thursday. The girl had been missing from home since February, and her disappearance was not reported until March. It was actually like 6 weeks. Let's see. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to the actual PDF files. Yeah, I was reading what Adniram said. At this point, I'd prefer to just give up my car. I'd rather a monkey in office than this. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's just everybody. We're so polarized right now, Dan. That's one of the problems. That's why I just want somebody like Mike Rowe to be president. You know, a rational thinker who. Yeah, it's just. I mean, I've said it 1,000 times. Anyways, acting chief of police Michael J. Mercurio today said he is waiting developments before taking further action in the lie detector test controversy. Fresh from a victory in Circuit Judge Joseph F. Cunningham's court, Mercurio announced he and City Attorney Robert J. Sprague will meet Monday to decide on what we will do next. So anyways, it sounds like, he's winning. Obviously he's not. You can't force somebody to take a lie detector test. And then board dismisses patrolman Rourke. The Bellevue Board of Fire and Police Commissioner voted unanimously Monday to fire patrolman Fred Rourke. So now he's out for disobeying orders, according to board chairman Clarence Rapp. Rapp said the commission voted unanimously in a roll call vote Monday to fire Rourke after hearing nearly 10 hours of testimony in the case. The testimony and the names of the witnesses were not made public. Wow, that's interesting. Rourke could appeal the decision on the board in court, but a similar case was recently rejected by a state appeals court. Rourke refused the order and succeeded in getting court injunctions preventing Mercurio from enforcing it. Mercurio later reissued the order after correcting some technical deficiencies, and the court upheld the second order. Rourke appeared before a lie detector examiner May 22nd, but refused to give any information other than his name, address, and occupation. So he did say, okay, I will sit down, but he would only say those things. Mercurio then suspended Rourke without pay. The suspension order was subject to review by the Board of Fire and Police Commissioner. According to Commissioner Richard Hilgard, the board could have voted to reinstate Rourke, suspended him without pay for another 30 days, or discharge him. Hilgard said the decision to discharge him was the only acceptable alternative. Okay. So right now, that's June 18th, 1974, then July. Ex-cop charged. So now, not only has he been fired, Fred Rourke, recently dismissed from the police department, has been charged with disorderly conduct and is scheduled to appear in court July 23rd to answer to the charge. Rourke, 31, was arrested upon the complaint filed by Gregory Trollard, who alleged Rourke insulted him and pulled his hair June 30th at the... Wow, so what's he arrested for then? Rourke, 31, was arrested upon the complaint filed by Gregory Trollard. He's only 31 years old. And pulled his hair June 30th at the Jack's or Better restaurant in Fairview Heights. The incident reportedly followed remarks made by Trollard to Rourke concerning the latter dismissal. Rourke, who resides at 419 North 38th Street, is a suspect in the killing of his stepdaughter. So that arrest was for something else, but he does get charged, or the charge anyway. And then that was July 12th, 1974. Then on... Let's see, where was that? August 8th. 6 months later, Cain murder remains unsolved. Her disappearance was not reported to police until March 22nd, after going missing on February 5th. By her stepfather, and that's who reported her missing, former city patrolman Fred Rourke. Miss Cain, a saving and loan company employee, resided at the Rourke home on April 20th. Her weighted and bullet-riddled body was recovered from a pond in Stookie Township. She had been shot 3 times with a .38 caliber pistol. Rourke admitted ownership of a gun of this caliber, but said it disappeared the day Miss Cain's body was recovered. See, now it's like the day of, right? Give me a break. Nearly 4 months of intensive investigation. Like, they probably went up to him and said, well, you know, we have to check your firearm, sir. You do have a .38 caliber, and you are her stepdad. Can we take a look at it, please? Well, yeah, the damnedest thing. I had it on my dresser when I went to sleep last night. When I woke up, poof, the damn thing was gone. It was a freaking miracle. We have not been able to come up with the murder weapon, and that is our chief problem, he said. Our investigator, Sergeant Charles Ericard and Ray Herr, chief investigator for the state's attorney, are working but have not come up with a solution. Miss Rourke spent 2 hours before the circuit court grand jury in May, but questioning failed. Late June, Rourke was dismissed from his job by unanimous vote on the Belleville board. Rourke has been ordered to take a lie detector test. He appeared before an examiner, but refused to give any information except his name, address, and occupation. Rourke has appealed his dismissal to the circuit court, but no hearing date has been set. It is probable, however, the case will be docketed for early fall. And right here it says Cain murder case reinvestigated. So what one is this one? This is 1974 November, so there was a lot of time where it just kind of, you know, wasn't really in the news much anymore. There's always something here and there, but it's been more than 9 months since blonde 18-year-old Sabrina Gene Kane was last seen alive on February 5th. All right, you're Gypsy. It's been 7.5 months since she was first officially reported missing by her stepfather, Belleville police officer Fred Rourke. It's been 6.5 months since 2 target shooters found Sabrina's bound and bullet-riddled body floating in a 3-acre pond off Town Hill Road near South 59th. Okay, now we can, let's see. Wow, is it way over here? See, that's interesting. So they're saying, now they're saying it's like off of, that's 59th. But now we're getting closer to where he lived. Yeah, there's a pond right there, though. One that I hadn't marked, and that might be it. The one that I didn't mark, right? And that would make sense of, like, he lives there, but his farm, you know, who knows what it looked like back then. All right, let's just see. I gotta keep going here. It has been nearly that long since St. Clair County law enforcement officials have received any new leads. But Paul Clinclair, chief deputy in the St. Clair County Sheriff's Office, still nurses hope of gathering enough evidence. When asked whether the reason for a review means the investigation was unsuccessful the first time around, Clinclair admits, the first time around we didn't generate enough evidence to present to a grand jury. This is the only avenue we have right now. He admits the review means the case is still basically where it was 4 or 5 months ago. Optimism is one of the things you have to have in this profession, Clinclair says. But as far as to say this review means we are going to be able to solve the case, well, it would be foolish to say that. All I can say is that we are going to keep working on the case. Apparently, county officials have generated a great deal of circumstantial evidence, at least some of which links Rourke to the murder. Rourke has been officially acknowledged as a prime suspect in the case, but county officials have lacked the one thing other than circumstantial evidence necessary, and that's the murder weapon, and it's a weapon with the exact caliber in the one that's gone. And see, he knows all this stuff, how it works. Yeah, it's crazy. how they have the rights. January 15th, 1975, judge upholds dismissal. So after he filed, the judge said, no, you're still fired. Don't worry about it. Then ex-cop charged with murder. So now in March 8th article here, in a March 8th article, 1975, so now we're a little bit over, we're about the time where they reported her missing, a year after that. A former city policeman has been arrested on an indictment charging him with the killing of his stepdaughter. Fred Rourke, 33, was taken Friday before St. Clair County Circuit Judge Joseph Cunningham, who ordered the former patrolman be held without bond. The body of Rourke's stepdaughter, Sabrina Gene Kane, 18, was found floating in a small lake near Belleville last April 21st. She had been shot once in the back of the head and twice in the back. Her body was tied to a concrete block. And that's another article, 2 days later. The indictment was made public after Belleville police acting order from State Attorney Robert H. Rice arrested Rourke at his home at 2:25 p.m. on Friday. The indictment was voted Friday morning. So that means they got in front of a grand jury and, they did a true bill, so they got it to that point. Gomrick said he and his client were surprised, to say the least, about the indictment. He said he had no idea what information Rice and his chief investigator Ray Herr have uncovered, but added, I guess we'll find out at today's hearing. Miss Cain, a 1973 graduate of Belleville Township High School, actually found that, like in the newspaper, her name was in there as graduating from the high school. It's crazy. Hey Lillian, how's it going? Good to see you. Gomrick said he and his client were surprised, to say the least, about the indictment. He said he had no idea what information Rice and his chief investigator Ray Herr have uncovered, but added, I guess it will be, we'll find it out. But her father delayed filing a report. So that's the thing is, so Miss Cain, a 1973 graduate of Bellevue Township High School West, an employee of Savings and Loan Association, disappeared from the Rourke home where she resided February 5th, 1974. But her father delayed filing a report of the disappearance until March 22nd. He said he postponed marking the report because she had disappeared before and later came home. Her bullet-riddled body was found April 20th in a Stuckey Township pond. Laboratory tests revealed she had been shot 3 times with a .38 caliber pistol. The gun was never recovered. Well, it's hard to find when the guy who had it threw it away. Police said Rourke admitted he once owned a .38 caliber pistol, but it disappeared the day Miss Cain's body was found. This is what it sounded like over the radio. It's like the, you ever found a body in a pond? Oh, I mean, he was like, quick draw McGraw. His hand went right down on that gun, and he sprinted out of the house, and he threw it somewhere. He heard that damn radio come in, and he was, oh yeah. A ex-policeman pleads innocent in murder charge. Yep, so he pled innocent. And this, you see this picture here and you go, wow, that's him. No, that's his attorney. This is the doofus back here. He's right there. He's, looks like he thinks he's in the Terminator movie or something. A hearing on the request for change of venue in the Fred Wayne Rourke trial for the murder of his stepdaughter, Sabrina Gene Kane. Change of venue means moving the location. Yep. Circuit Court Judge John F. Hoban recessed the hearing. Anyways, I don't know if it got moved, but we're down. Now we're going to October 20th. Rourke clear. Case closed. So he got acquitted. So I mean, the part that sucks is I want to know what the vote was on this. The not guilty verdict in the murder trial of Fred Wayne Rourke may mean the Belleville Board of Fire and Public Commissioner faces a tough decision. Board co-chairman, no, I don't think it means you got to then hire him again because he broke, you ordered him to do it and he didn't do it. And, you don't have to hire anybody. Oh, man. Oof. Just got a hiccup. Board co-chairman Lindell Barker said today he doesn't know what the commissioner will do if Rourke asks for his job back. I've been wondering myself, he said. I'm sure he will have to consult with our attorney. Rourke was fired last year because he refused to take a lie detector test. The main charge against him was that he failed to take the lie detector test, Barker said. I would suppose that would be probably still stand if it would just take the test, it would probably clear up the whole matter. Yeah. Well, now that he's innocent, why not take the test, right? Everybody? Hey, he can't be charged again. It can't hurt. So why don't you take the damn test today and you can get your job back.
Crack me up.
Thanks, charisma. Hey, maybe if I can do dancing around, Hey, there we go. Super chats, where's my one face that I made? Is it this one? Where the hell is that thing? I don't even know if I still have it anymore. Oh, there it is. There you go, everybody. Now, if that isn't super chat worthy, I don't know what is, okay? All right, Rourke attorney James Gomrick said today Rourke has not decided whether he will pursue that case. He said he and Rourke plan to meet later this week to make the final decision. Yeah, why doesn't he just take it again? Rourke has already filed a civil suit against the city, he said. Regardless of the outcome of the civil suit against Belleville, Aguirre said the state attorney's office considers the Sabrina Gene Kane murder case closed. Right, because he knows he did it. Primarily because he still believes Rourke is guilty. Aguirre said the key prosecution witness, Ronald Martindale, passed a lie detector test of his testimony. Martindale testified that he overheard Rourke say he killed Miss Cain. The thing you have to understand is that a lie detector test is not admissible in court of law as evidence, so the jury didn't know about it. Wow, that's interesting. Aguirre said, still, we felt an obligation to take the case to court. Aguirre also said the prosecution did not raise the issue of some kind of romantic relationship between Rourke and Miss Cain because there was no solid evidence. He said no witness came forward with direct knowledge, so anything which could have been presented would be circumstantial evidence. Rourke was charged with shooting Miss Cain, then throwing her weighted body into a small pond south of Belleville. Miss Cain disappeared February 5th, 1974. Her body was found 10 weeks later by 2 target shooters. It's interesting, too, because this guy is a target shooter. That's what he does. The defense, however, claimed Rourke could not have shot Miss Cain and dumped her body in a pond because a bad back, made him unable to lift weights, right? So he's a cop running around arresting people, but he can't do a damn thing. Gomrick also argued many other people were just as likely to have been the murderer. In fact, Gomrick said the case only went to trial because of the amount of publicity. No, it went to trial because he admits that he owned a .38 caliber pistol that he miraculously lost the day of her body being found. Prior to that, he never thought she'd be found, so he didn't need to lose the gun, but all of a sudden it goes missing, knowing that, oh my God, they're going to find her, they're going to find the bullet. I mean, it went through his head. Oh my God, they found her body. They're going to be able to take the bullets out. They are definitely going to go compare the bullets from my gun. Boom, I got to get rid of it. I mean, it's so obvious. I mean, well, let me just ask you, what do you think the odds are that in his whole career, all those years of working and everything, that he loses the gun just before law enforcement is going to ask him to present it so that they can compare gunshots. No, I will not be talking about it. I already did that earlier, Chelsea. Yeah, you'll have to rewind it to the beginning of the show. Dylan Rounds isn't the only case in the world, everybody. You know, it's not even interesting at this point. You know, give me something new and it'll be interesting. This guy looks like a dirty cop. What do you mean he looks like one? Yeah, he does kind of look like a dirty cop. I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, but it's like 1 in a billion, right? I mean, there's just no way. Let's see. The defense, however, claimed Rourke could not have shot. Okay. In fact, Gomrick said the case only went to trial because of the amount of publicity. Because of the publicity they had to deliver, Gomrick said in the closing statement, they knew they had to have a defendant. We are just saying the facts are presented the facts that were presented cannot prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. No, it can, though. That's the thing. I think it's unreasonable not to think that. Rourke was obviously bitter because of the publicity his case has received in the media. The only thing I have to say to you is, did you get the verdict not guilty? Rourke said, pointing his finger at one reporter. I have no other comment. Rourke's attorney, James J. Comrick, was also upset about what he called the half-truth, which have been circulating about Rourke murder case. In a way, I guess, I'm glad this case came to trial. This gave Mr. Rourke the chance to answer all their half-truths in open court and prove that they are just not true. Comrick, who grew visibly nervous as the jury deliberations stretched past 2.5 hour mark, said the eventual verdict represented a fair decision based on all the evidence. Is that really what you would say? You know, like, yeah. Well, you know, based on the evidence given, you know, it was a fair decision. Yeah. I think what you would say was, hey, my client was innocent, right? He said the verdict does not, in fact, bear out the justice system. Both Gomrick and Richard Aguirre of the St. Clair County State Attorney's Office agreed no one piece of evidence or testimony led to the acquittal. Mr. Rourke was found not guilty because false accusations were shown to be just that, false accusations. This is what his attorneys are saying. Aguirre admitted the prosecution had what was considered by many to be a weak case, but he said he thought there was an outside chance of a conviction. I can't really fault the decision of the jury, Aguirre said. We gave them all the admissible evidence we had. See, that's one of the problems is, like, they weren't allowed to, you know, here's one of the things that, like what 2 Cents set up above about, you know, the defendants have all the rights. You know, there's all these cases out there where you got a guy that's killed, you know, 5, 6 women in a row, and now he's on trial for killing another woman. And you can't bring up any of the other ones that he did because it's not relevant to this one. Well, but it is, though, you know. It shows that he's capable of doing it. All right, so in this case, you have evidence out there that maybe, you know, he told somebody something, or, you know, the victim who's dead told a friend, oh yeah, and then now it's hearsay and all this kind of shit. And all that stuff gets thrown out, and the jury doesn't get to hear anything, but the prosecutor in a case like this might absolutely just know, oh my God, this guy's it. And it's just brutal that we can't put this one out, we can't put this one out. It's just crazy. Oh yeah, that whole too prejudicial shit. God, what a joke. It's too prejudicial? Well, that's the whole point, because it is. I mean, it's not even prejudicial, it's just a fact. Martindale testified he overheard Rourke tell the owners of the International House of Pancakes on West Main Street in Belleville didn't mean to kill Miss Cain. The manager, however, testified the conversation did not take place. Garmick also appeared to poke other holes in Martindale's credibility. The jury decided, well, what about the part about the gun? That's really the whole thing to me. I would almost be at a point where you'd almost convict somebody on just that little bit. I mean, isn't that crazy? I mean, I'm not, I wouldn't give them the death penalty or something, but I would say, look it. Where's your gun, sir? Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I had it yesterday. It's gone today. I mean, it's just, the odds are so low. That's not even a reasonable doubt for somebody to go, well, he could have lost his gun that day. That is insane. Police officers never lose their guns. That's one of the things that they're taught. I mean, of course, when I say never, yes, I'm sure it's happened before, but have other cops lost their gun the same day a body's found that you're about to be questioned on? Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, and that was weird because this is that other case that I was showing you that I covered. Strangled victim identified. So there's a lady that was strangled in the same town, 1977. So that's 2 years later. But that was a serial killer on that one. And it's totally different MO. Well, here's the thing. Let's go through this one. All right. So this is a 2018 article here. No, your gypsy and there's another one for a quit your bitchin'. Thank you. Didn't see that one. For a notebook. All right. Quit your bitchin's an actual YouTube name. In 1974, this is 2018, again in the same newspaper, but way later. I mean, shit, 26, 18, 40 something years later. In 1974, an 18-year-old woman from Belleville was shot in the back of the head, chest, and arm. Her murderer tied her hands behind her back and concrete block to her waist before throwing her body in a pond in Stookie Township. However, murdered Sabrina Gene Kane has never been the murderer. Whoever murdered. Okay, I thought it said however. Whoever murdered Sabrina Gene Kane has never been held responsible for the crime. Prior to the discovery of her body, Sabrina had been missing from her Belleville home for almost 2 months. She disappeared in February 1974 and her body was discovered in April. The only person indicted for the murder was Sabrina's stepfather, Fred Rourke, a Belleville police officer. A jury found Rourke not guilty in a trial at the Adams County Courthouse in Quincy. Though the crime probably occurred in St. Clair County. Hey, are you still out there, Dan? Did this guy die? Rourke, is he still alive out there? Though the crime probably occurred in St. Clair County, a judge ordered the change of venue to Adams County. Oh, there you go. The change of venue. Because of the extensive media coverage the murderer had received in Belleville. Documents obtained through a Freedom of Information Act request about Sabrina's murder investigation from the St. Clair County Sheriff's Department have multiple witnesses stating Sabrina hated her stepfather for his controlling and allegedly violent behavior, according to police reports. He has since died. Okay, so he isn't alive now. What do you mean he? What are you talking about? Okay. The day she disappeared, Sabrina told her friends, co-workers, and boyfriend she was leaving home because she couldn't stand to be under the same roof as Rourke and any longer, according to police reports. Rourke was called to identify Sabrina's remains and aided investigators in the early stages. Okay, this is This is crazy. And then here's the other page, way bigger. So let's see what we got in this one. It's a big one. So Rourke died in a traffic accident in St. Louis in November 19... hold on. What was in that last one? It didn't seem to flow there. Oh, early stages of the murder. Okay, so it says Rourke was called to identify Sabrina's remains and aided investigators in the early stages of the murder investigation, but lost his job as a police officer after he refused to take a lie detector test about the killing. Rourke died in a traffic accident in St. Louis in November 1978. Wow. Jesus. That wasn't even too long after. 4 years after Sabrina died. He is buried next to Sabrina. Oh, God. At Lakeview Memorial Gardens in Fairview Heights. What kind of... Jesus. Wow, look at that's the concrete block over here with the rope. Sabrina's half-sister, Kimberly Cain, was 7 years old when her sister was killed. They had the same father, Cork Cain, and different mother. At the time, Kimberly lived with her parents in Arcola, an Illinois town about 150 miles northeast of Belleville. Sabrina lived in Belleville with her mother and stepfather, Lorene and Fred Rourke. Even though she always wondered what happened to her sister, Kimberly didn't begin searching for information until her father, Cork, passed away in October 2013. Kimberly said it was too painful for him. So, wait, so they had the same... They had the same father. Okay, yeah, I see. Alright, so... Like, she had a different mother. That's why that's why she lived somewhere else. I get it. Kimberly said it was too painful for him. His way to deal with it was to just not talk about it. They lived in different towns and had a 12-year age difference, but Kimberly regrets she didn't know Sabrina better. Kimberly had the opportunity to visit with Sabrina only 3 times before she was murdered. I know she always thought about me and wanted to be in my life, Kimberly said, but it just wasn't meant to be. Kimberly said Lorene and Fred Rourke never called her father to tell him his daughter Sabrina was missing. Wow. She said her father learned Sabrina was missing when a family member called to say her body had been discovered. Wow, so he never even knew. The actual father never even knew. Until this month, Kimberly had never viewed her sister's grave. In the 44 years since Sabrina's death, no one informed her where it was. Kimberly purchased 3 roses and placed them at Sabrina's headstone during her visit to the grave. "That's for you, Dad," Kimberly said. She was all I had. The last day Sabrina was seen alive was February 5th, 1974. She worked days at Midwest Home Savings and Loan and evenings at Kmart Grocery, both in Belleville. Rourke told police he talked to Sabrina around 1 p.m. on February 5th. Then she walked away from home angry at him, according to investigation reports. Rourke was most likely the last person to see Sabrina alive. The family didn't formally report Sabrina as missing until March 22nd. The reason for the delay, Rourke told police, was because Sabrina had left before but always returned. 2 men were target shooting when they found Sabrina's body on April 20th, 1974 in a 3-acre pond off of Town Hall Road. She was bound, wearing the same clothing she had on when she disappeared on February 5th, and decomposing. Investigators recovered 4 rings from her body. She was probably not as decomposed as you might have been because it was winter. And it was Illinois. You know, most of that time was winter. You know, probably got a little warmer in April. Investigators recovered 4 rings from her body. One of them, a Belleville West High School class ring, had the initials SJC on it. Rourke was called to identify the rings, and he said the class ring was definitely Sabrina's. Rourke identified all the clothing recovered from the body, including underwear, as belonging to his stepdaughter. How would he know that? According to police documents, he also made the statement that it hadn't been long since Sabrina had purchased the panties. Jeez. Then Rourke asked to see Sabrina's body, the report said. His reaction to seeing the body seemed normal for any person. His only reply was that she didn't have a face. Her scalp was found floating beneath the rest of the body, according to reports. The investigation officer, Delbert Jackson, wrote in a report that he asked Rourke why anyone would want to kill Sabrina. So the officer asked, is there any reason anybody would want to kill Sabrina? Jackson wrote, at one point in our interview, I had asked Mr. Rourke of knowledge of anyone having a reason for killing Miss Cain. And in some kind of way, the interpretation he got from my question was that I was asking if she was pregnant. His statement was, you think she was pregnant? Wow. So he said, why do you think, let's see, of any knowledge of anyone having a reason for killing? And then his thought was, well, maybe she was pregnant. You think she was pregnant? My answer was that I didn't insinuate that. At that point, Mr. Rourke started crying and swearing and made the statement, she was all I had. Yeah. St. Clair County Coroner C.C. Cain determined the 3 bullets pulled from Sabrina's body were fired from a .38 caliber weapon. Rourke was a member of the Belleville Police Department for about 5 years prior to the murder of Sabrina. He owned a .38 caliber gun, but told investigators he lost it around the time Sabrina's body was discovered. The Belleville News-Democrat reported a coroner's inquest held on May 4, 1974, determined Sabrina was murdered at the hands of a party or parties unknown. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Rourke searches for evidence. On the same day Rourke identified the items in Sabrina's body, authorities were searching around the pond in Stuckey Township to locate evidence. The area was heavily wooded, and investigators made a public plea for volunteers to help in the search on WIBV radio of Belleville. Around 6:45 p.m. on April 20th, 1974, Rourke and his neighbor, John Jack Erlinger, showed up at the scene and offered their assistance in the search. An investigation report says Rourke asked the deputies whether anyone had searched the area of the trestle on the same road approximately 1/2 mile west of the lake. Let's see. Is there trestles anywhere? That's a railroad trestle, right? That's what that stat means? I wonder if that was an old rail right there, you know, that's what they, hold on. Yeah, look at that. See? I think that was a railroad track. I was just guessing, you know, just because we've done this so many times. But that looks like exactly what that was. And it probably kept going. Yeah, And that's probably it right there. Let's see. So you can kind of see the railroad track, right? Like, it looks like it probably went like this, and then straight through. There's a bridge right there. I wonder if that was the trestle they were talking about. Although that's... Yeah, see, that's not there anymore. And that used to be the railroad. So I bet you that's it. And they said, did anybody... Let's see. I already got down there, right? It's heavily wooded. around 6:45 on him. At Rourke walked the road, checked the evidence. In a later interview, early authorities Rourke had been with him on the entire walk. Rourke had asked whether anyone had searched the area of the trestle on the same road approximately 1/2 mile west of the lake. Yes, I don't know. That wouldn't be... Got his lake right there? I mean, now we're right into his property right here. That other guy, the Herbert C. Forney. Maybe there's another trestle over here, though. Yeah, I don't know. But you can definitely see that. Can you guys see that right there? How there's a... It looks like the railroad at one point crossed over right there. It was still there in 1998. Oh, look at that. 1988. Man, that's really... They got a 1988 image in here. Look at this thing. So now we can really kind of try to figure this out right here. So that's the Town Hall Road, and it goes right here. This is probably the pond right there. Because now that road goes to here, and then... But the trestle is east, not west, like they said. Maybe they meant to say the pond was a 1/2 mile west of the trestle. Yeah, that's about a mile to there. I don't know. That's so crazy though. Look at that. Just that one segment that we needed had the... I guess that road's still right there. So, I don't know. Feels like it's one of these right here. And this is 59th Street. They said it was off of that in one of the articles. So this is too far away, I would think, from 59th, even though that's Hilbert Forney's property. Let's see. In later interview, Erlinger told authorities York had been with him the entire walk and was never out of sight. Erlinger returned to the lake and walked investigators along the path the two had trod that evening. Erlinger died a decade ago, according to his family. One of the items authorities and volunteers were searching for was the weapon used to kill Sabrina. At first, the police department suspended Rourke with pay during the investigation into Sabrina's murder. After the Belleville police chief at the time ordered Rourke to take a lie detector test, and Rourke refused to answer any questions other than his name, address, and occupation, Rourke's pay was suspended as well. The Belleville Board of Fire and Police Commissioners voted unanimously in June 1974 to dismiss Rourke. He appealed to the circuit court to review the decision, but in January 1975 the court upheld Rourke's dismissal. Bloodstained carpet in Sabrina's room. In the investigation documents, Sabrina's co-workers at Midwest Savings and Loan told police they thought the relationship between Rourke and Sabrina was strange. They described Rourke as overprotective. Two separate interviews with police included a description of Sabrina crying because Rourke had rubbed off her eye makeup with his hands because he didn't like it. The day before Sabrina disappeared on February 4th, 1974, investigation documents say she told a co-worker Fred Rourke had pushed her around and struck her on several occasions. Jean Morrissey Cooney, who was a friend of Sabrina, told authorities that Rourke asked Sabrina's friends to call him Fred and not Mr. Rourke. Jean didn't believe Sabrina would have walked away from home. In April 1974, she told police the one thing that Sabrina did not like to do was walk or leave without money. Sabrina was stubborn that way. So the one thing Sabrina did not like to do was walk or leave without money. In 2018 interview with BND, Jean said Rourke was controlling and didn't want her to date ever. She described the relationship between Sabrina and Rourke as very odd. In the days after Sabrina's disappearance, Gene said Lorraine and Fred Rourke called her and asked whether she had seen Sabrina. She had not. I went to see her mom a few days later, Gene said. We went into Sabrina's bedroom. Lorraine moved a rug that was blocking Sabrina's closet to open the doors. Lorraine showed Gene brand new clothes in Sabrina's closet that had never been worn and had tags on them. Gene remembered Lorraine saying nobody would leave and just leave clothes like that. When she was trying to close the closet door, there was a lot of blood on this rug, the carpet underneath the rug, Gene said. Gene asked Lorraine about the blood, and she attributed it to an accident Rourke had when he was trying to get into Sabrina's stuff to see if she left anything. At the time, Gene didn't think anything sinister about it. When Sabrina's body was discovered, Gene told police about the blood stain in Sabrina's room. Police went to Rourke's home to examine the blood stain. It was gone. After they found her body, my mom and I went over to see Lorraine, Gene said. The county coroner called while they were there and spoke to Rourke. After the phone call with coroner, Gene recalled Rourke came back and said, well, she wasn't pregnant. Everybody in the room looked at him dumbfounded. After the phone call with coroner, Gene recalled Rourke came back and said, well, she wasn't pregnant. Everybody in the room looked at him dumbfounded. Gene said Lorraine asked Rourke, why would anyone think Sabrina was pregnant? Gene remembers saying that would have been a motive in drawing the attention of Rourke. Gene said, when Fred was looking at me, it gave my mother the creeps. They left shortly thereafter. There was something in his stare that wasn't right, Gene said. Sabrina Cain's mother. Kimberly attended the funeral of her sister Sabrina with her father Cork, Kimberly said. My dad was not listed in the obit or listed as family. I wasn't listed as family either. She said Lorraine's behavior was out of control at the funeral. Her mother made a screaming fool of herself, Kimberly said. She remembered Lorraine yelling, someone killed my baby, and throwing herself on Sabrina's coffin. How could you stay with someone who is tried? How could you stay with someone who was tried for your daughter's murder? Kimberly said. Bob Soucy married Lorraine in 1980 after the death of Fred. So this guy named Bob married Lorraine after Fred died in a car accident. Soucy was Lorraine's third husband. They were married for 27 years. Lorraine didn't like to talk about it, Sabrina's murder. Soucy told the B&D recently he described his wife Lorraine as a home decorator who loved to go to auctions and flea markets. Lorraine had a stroke in 2007 and died 10 months later. The family chose to cremate her remains. Lorraine's interview with authorities in 1974 shows she believed in Fred Rourke's innocence. When asked how Rourke would handle Sabrina moving into her own apartment, Lorraine told authorities he might not like it, but if it would make Sabrina happy, he would help. Fred was always doing things to make Sabrina happy. Investigators informed Lorraine they had received information Rourke and Sabrina's relationship was intimate, and she flatly denied the possibility. Gene said her mother held onto the fact that she didn't think Fred killed Sabrina. She just didn't think that. Lorraine buried her daughter and second husband next to each other. Kimberly believed Rourke had been molesting Sabrina. Wait, what? So this is the, Kimberly's the mom, right? No, wait, that's Lorraine. So who's Kimberly? No, I don't remember who Kimberly was. Anybody remember who Kimberly was? Maybe that was a friend. That's what she's over here. No, that's the sister, the half-sister. Kimberly believes Rourke had been molesting Sabrina. She believes that was the reason Sabrina was moving out and why her sister was murdered. Could have just read the rest of the sentence and got the answer. Gene said the police asked me, did I know if they had ever had a sexual relationship? I did not know. Not guilty. The evidence against Rourke was almost entirely circumstantial. There were no witnesses to the murder and no murder weapon was ever found. Kimberly believes the fact that Fred Rourke was a police officer is why the case against him was so thin and no one spoke up at the time of the murder. They were afraid of retaliation. And don't forget, everybody, if you'd like to get into the drawing for the notebook, go ahead and send in the Super Chats or PayPals. It's another public service announcement. A key prosecution witness testified in court he heard Rourke confess to friends about killing Sabrina while bussing tables at the IHOP in Belleville. Donald Martinville, who was 19 at the time of the trial, said in court he heard Rourke say, I didn't mean to kill her. Why would he say that, though, in an IHOP? And I didn't mean to get her pregnant. Really? I mean, those are like two key things. I know, I could see that not being real. I mean, why would he say that in there? Martindale could not be reached for comment. On cross-examination, one of Rourke's attorneys, James J. Comrick, asked Martindale about being arrested for a curfew violation by Rourke's police department a few days before hearing the alleged confession at the restaurant. Later in the trial, it was revealed Martindale had been fired from his job at the restaurant. Okay, so Martindale was the 19-year-old. Okay, on cross-examination, one of Rourke's attorneys, James Gomrick, asked Martindale about being arrested for a curfew violation. Later in the trial, it was revealed Martindale had been fired from his job at the restaurant the day before he heard the alleged confession. Martindale's testimony was cast into doubt. Comrick declined to comment when contacted recently about the case. The not guilty verdict was announced after the jury deliberated about 2.5 hours. The Belleville News-Democrat reported. Let's see. Gene said there was never any true physical evidence to tie Rourke to that murder. Fred was a cop. His service revolver was missing, Gene said. There were building blocks behind their house similar to the one she was tied to, as well as a tow rope from a boat similar to the one in their backyard. And the blood, an anonymous note mailed to St. Clair County Sheriff's on April 24, 1974, and included in the investigation documents, read, her stepfather killed Miss Cain, that damned policeman. I know Rourke did it. People have anonymously called me and said, I lived here. He did it. Trust me, he did it, Kimberly said. On October 20th, 1975, Rourke told Bellevue News Democrat reporter, the only thing I have to say to you is, did you get that verdict? Not guilty. I have no other comment. Hey, we actually read that one. Yeah. All right. So now we're going to go check out the PDF file. But I almost feel like I'm going to throw myself in prison, and then we'll get to the PDF files, right? Because even though we've had a decent night, we're only about 50% of what we were doing just 2 or 3 weeks ago in the same situation. We actually have, there's 100 pages here. But I won't do it. Yeah, he pulled over a lot of different people, and yeah. Is anybody there? Well, he's moved to a different county, and I don't know what all their evidence that they had, but yeah, maybe I'll go get a Coke. Put myself in prison. I'll do it. It's the only chance. Oh my God! I forgot that I put the face on there. And then once we get out of prison, we can go ahead and finish the 100. We'll go over not the 100 pages, but they've got maps and things in here that we can actually look at. So it's kind of cool to actually have the FOIA document here. Yeah, well, he's a cop, Sabrina. So, all right. Well, when we get bailed out of jail, we'll go ahead and get moving on to the next part. All right, Norm, thanks. Yeah, burying her by the.
I'll be back if you want me to.
Burying the Rourke by Sabrina was. Hey, we got Sabrina Rodriguez. I was gonna say that sounded kind of familiar. Man, times change, man. Remember when I get in prison before? That was like where it would be like save the show type of thing. Now it's like yeah, her mom's she's one of the classic just denial types, you know. Yeah, we talked about the mother for like a long time just now. You must have missed it. Well, it doesn't say bail up there, Brittany, so I wouldn't be out yet. That's just a random. Makeshift shank and a spoon for digging. All right. Yep, mom was Garvey. Why'd they block that? Can you believe that? They actually
Shank and a spoon for digging.
the comment 2 cents made. They made it so I had to approve it. Jesus. Yeah. All right, there we go. So from Zozo, I got a makeshift shank. Norm Scanlon, maybe that was, we'll use that to bribe the guard. And then Amber Maiden got me bailed out too. All right. Yeah, so look at this. This is like the real FOIA request documents here.
Bail.
Oh yeah, PayPal wave, huh? Hey, Nancy. Oops, can't say shit. We always do that. Lillian, thank you. I always say that every time. All right, thank you. All right, so let's see what somebody. Let's just see how they kind of write some of this stuff. Upon arrival at the civil defense team, okay, I arrived at the scene approximately 12:45 p.m. Also to see what appeared to be a body floating on top of the water. The civil defense was called, and a crew and a boat was dispatched. Upon arrival of the civil defense team, a Mr. Kaufman and a Mr. Hopfinger arrived at approximately 1:40 p.m. and went into the water with the civil defense boat and retrieved the body to the shoreline. In the meantime, the coroner was notified and he dispatched the assistant coroner, Dennis Corte. Hey, thanks, Sabrina Rodriguez. Unfortunately, you have the same first name as... Wow, we have another Sabrina from earlier, too. Sabrina Hennessy, Sabrina Rodriguez, and Sabrina Cain is the story, man. We got...
Now we can see
we have tons of Sabrinas. Well, thanks, Sabrina. I know that's sarcastic, I'm sure, you know. I mean, I'm no Anthony Greeno, okay? Let's not kid around here. Also present at the scene was Sergeant Greer and Deputy Holding. After pictures were taken, the body was removed from the scene by Gardner and conveyed to their funeral home, where the body was searched for possible evidence to her identity. The search revealed 4 rings, 1 class ring with Belleville West inscribed and initials SJC on it. The other 3 rings were of little or no significance as to the identity at that time. Also, a postcard from Penny's department store, it looks like it says store, which had the name Rourke Cain on it. Let me see. So, rings were a little no significance. Also, a postcard from Penny's department store, which had the name Rourke Cain on it, and an address of 419. Why would there be a postcard in there? I don't get it. What do you think that means? In the meantime, I was contacted by Deputy Phillips of our department, who stated that Captain Mercurio had called and said that he had a report of a missing girl whose description fit the body and also the clothing she was last seen wearing. The missing report revealed the name of Sabrina Gene Kane of 419 North 38th Street, Belleville, a white female, age 18, and that she was the stepdaughter of a Belleville policeman, Fred Rourke. The stepfather, Fred Rourke, was asked to identify the rings that had been taken. Let's see. Well, let's go up here, I guess. Let's see. Sergeant Breed. In the meantime, I was contacted by Deputy Phillips of our department, who stated that Kirill called Bellevue notified me at approximately 3:30 p.m. that he was out looking for Fred Rourke to bring him to our office. After I had left the funeral home and returned to the office, Sergeant Breed arrived along with Fred Rourke, stepfather of the deceased, at approximately 4:10 p.m. same date. About the same time, Dennis Corte, the deputy coroner, who also works for Gardner's funeral home, arrived at our investigator's office. Also present was Sergeant Robert Robinson of the Sheriff's Department. The stepfather, Fred Rourke, was asked to identify the rings that had been taken from the body. He positively identified the class ring as that of his stepdaughter and tentatively identified the other 3. Mr. Rourke's reaction was seemingly very upset in spurts, meaning certain instances in the interview. We then asked him to try and detail for us the last time she was seen by him. Mr. Rourke stated that he had last seen her on the 5th of February, 1974, and at that time he and Sabrina were discussing her leaving his home and renting an apartment. He stated that he tried to talk to her and ask her not to move out of the home. I mean, but she wanted to get the hell away from him, so that's kind of weird, right? but she insisted in doing so. He further stated that she would not... I mean, this part right here makes him seem guilty, because he's downplaying that they were actually arguing over it. And he's just talking about it like it was matter of fact, like it was... You know, he further stated that he would not divulge to him or to her mother the problems that she may have been having. Like, listen, this girl had all kinds of problems. You know, I'm not going to tell you, and I'm not even going to tell her mother about these problems. You know, that's sort of like the subconscious, him trying to, you know, explain why he had to kill her, you know, but he's not saying it out loud. Also, that she stayed away from home on the 2nd and 3rd, so, you know, apparently she didn't stay at the home on the 2nd or 3rd of February and stayed the night at their home on the 4th, so she wasn't there on the 2nd or 3rd, but she stayed overnight on the 4th, and that was the night before her disappearance, so she wasn't there apparently. And then she comes home and says, you know, I want to get the hell out of here. But she stays overnight. And then she's gone the next day. Mr. Rourke stated that during the first week of her sentence, he had went everywhere he could think of looking for her. He had even gone as far as Tuscaloosa, Illinois, her hometown. At one point in our interview, I had asked Mr. Rourke of knowledge of anyone having a reason for killing Miss Cain, and some kind of way the interpretation he got from my question was that I was asking if she was pregnant. His statement was, "You think she was pregnant?" My answer was, this is the same thing in that newspaper article, was that I didn't insinuate that. At that point, Mr. Rourke started crying and swearing and made the statement, "She was all I had." Well, what about your wife? Jesus. And she's your stepdaughter, you know. It's like you're kind of a little strange. After repetition of him last seeing his victim, after repetition of his last seeing the victim, Mr. Rourke decided he wanted to see the clothing that she had on to be sure it was in his mind that it was his stepdaughter. At this time, we left the office and went over to Gardner Funeral Home. We arrived at the funeral home at approximately 5:15 p.m., same date, at which time the stepfather identified most of the clothing as follows: the slacks, the jacket, the panty girdle, and the underpanties. He also made the statement that it hadn't been long since she had purchased the panties, and how we would know that, I don't know, which had Saturday written on them. He also positively identified the panty girdle as being hers. Yeah, that's weird. I don't even know, you know, like, how would it, do guys actually know what, you know, the style of underwear? Like, you just, oh yeah, those are hers, yeah. I don't know, it's just kind of weird. I don't think I'd be able to just say. I mean, it's not, I don't really give a damn, you know. That's sort of an odd thing for a stepfather to know, is what type of underwear his stepdaughter was wearing, if you ask me. And how long had they been married, by the way? I mean, was she 14 or? Yeah, because she must have been a single mom raising Sabrina, and then she got married to Rourke. Yeah. Mr. Rourke then decided that he had to see the decomposed body. You know, I gotta go get it, like my allergy medicine. Hold on. There we go. I think took some like Benadryl or some shit. Hopefully that'll work. I think he's like, no, I think he's like 100% he's guilty. I mean, I'm not even slightly like, well, there's always that chance, you know. This is one of those guys that. Well, he did. That's what he did. He made it sound like everything was normal. He made it sound like, oh, I just tried to convince her because I loved her so much to be here, but she wanted to go move out somewhere else. She had some problems and everything, but it was much worse than that. So, to me, he's downplaying it. Even the way he sounded there was way downplaying it. Gambler. Okay. After returning inside the viewer home, Sergeant Breed asked the subject if he could recognize the body. His only reply was that she didn't have a face. I mean, what a weird thing to say. After idle conversation about the situation, it was decided that Rourke should notify his wife as soon as possible. I took him to his home at 6th and F Street and dropped him off. Will stated at this time that Dennis Corte, upon cleaning the body, stated that the subject had bullet wounds to the head, back, and shoulder. After returning to the office, I was notified that Sergeant Robinson was on his way to meet with the O'Fallon rescue team, which was dispatched by Sergeant Robinson and myself to drag the lake in which the body was found for further evidence. At approximately 6:45, Rourke and a neighbor of his came to the scene of where the body of his stepdaughter had been recovered and asked if anyone had searched the area of the trestle on the same road approximately 1/2 mile west of the lake. Huh, that's weird. That doesn't match. Now let me just check one more thing on there. Let me go back again. So definitely it went over here, but it wasn't. But there isn't a railroad. Why would a trestle be on the same road as it? See, that makes me wonder if this right here at one point kind of came around like that or something. I don't know. Let me get rid of the roads. Then we can see it better. If you turn off roads, now you can see what. So there's the railroad track. And the track, this was apparently a 1/2 mile west of the pond. I mean, that's not it right there, is it? I mean, huh. Well, let me put another, let me just put a pin right there in this one. And then if we go back, that's a trestle there. Is that a 1/2 mile about? Let's see. And it's 0.34. You got these. There's this one. I don't know. Yeah, jeez. It's crazy. We say that he, okay, and asked if anyone had searched the area of the trestle on the same road, approximately 1/2 mile west of the lake, for the victim's purse. We stated that we hadn't. Why would he say that? Hey, go check the trestle for the purse. And probably wouldn't have been there because that would make him seem really guilty, right? We stated that we hadn't, and Mr. Rourke and his neighbor went down to the trestle and returned approximately 7:15, so a half hour later, saying that he found nothing. Jackson told Rourke that I would contact him the next day. Okay, so let's just go through. For further evidence or other clues to the perpetrator's identity, I arrived at the scene of the lake at approximately 6:15 and began the processing of the lake. Mr. Gary Durjanvik was in charge. The search was initiated for approximately 1 hour with negative results as to other relative evidence. The search was concluded at approximately 7:20. At approximately 6:45, Rourke and a neighbor of his came to the scene where the body... I think we already did this one. I already said that. Oh, I think I scrolled up too far is what happened. Okay, the blow sign investigators interviewed one Billy Joe Higgins who resides in regards to the deceased Sabrina J. Cain. That's Gene. Mr. Higgins related that he had knowledge of the deceased due to the inquiries made by the stepfather, a Fred Rourke who resides at... we already have that. Higgins stated that the stepfather came to him at his place of employment, Kmart Grocery, saying his daughter was missing, and if he, Higgins, knew anything about her or her associates. As best of his knowledge, this was the month of February. Well, it's interesting that he, went around and asked, I guess. At this time, Higgins told the stepfather of an incident where Sabrina had related to him. This time, Higgins told the stepfather of an incident where Sabrina had told Higgins, had related to him her interest in a hockey player or jockey of some sort. Mr. Rourke seemed not to be alarmed at this incident. Mr. Higgins stated farther that Sabrina, they keep typing Sabrina for some reason. That's the second time. Sabrina was an attractive girl. Mr. Higgins stated further that Sabrina was an attractive girl and had a great amount of fear for her stepfather. Higgins, who was also employed by Stuckey Township as a deputy, had occasion to see Mr. Rourke on several times in the area where the deceased was found. Interesting. At this time, Higgins was on patrol, and Mr. Rourke was alleged to be target shooting in this area. Oh, jeez. So, man, that's weird. And then 2 target shooters find the body too. Mr. Higgins stated further that Sabrina was an attractive girl and had a great amount of fear for her stepfather. Higgins, who was also employed by Stuckey Township as a deputy, had occasion to see Mr. Rourke on several times in the area where the deceased was found. At this time, Higgins was on patrol and Mr. Rourke was alleged to be target shooting in this area. So he was patrolling and he sees Mr. Rourke target shooting right in that exact area. With reference to the above-mentioned case involving that of the murder of the hands of a person of persons unknown. At approximately 11:30 a.m. on April 21st, 1974, I arrived at the Gardner Funeral Home, Belleville, Illinois, to await the arrival of pathologists. He arrived approximately 12:15 p.m. His credentials were that of Mr. Samuel McQueen, blah, 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 blah. The doctor started the autopsy approximately 12:30 p.m. After showing the pathologist my credentials, he gave me the following report. The victim died of gunshot wound to the head. He also stated that there was no sign of pregnancy. He had retrieved 2 slugs and 2 possible fragments from the body, which will be detailed in his official report as to the location. The evidence was turned over to me. You know what I should try to do here is... yeah, here we go. There we go. We can recognize text and then look for it. So it's going to go through. It should easily be able to do these words here. They're perfectly legible. So right now we're on page 6 out of 101. But hey, it's going to go. It's going to do it. Probably right. 2 cents. He probably bought the panties for her. I was thinking of you today, daughter. Here, look at these. You know, that kind of thing. Sick of it. Well, there was a question. Somebody said, is there a reason somebody might kill her? And she goes, I don't know. Was she pregnant? I mean, that's something we think of because we cover crime, and I guess he's an officer, but I don't know. Like, there's sometimes when you see, like, I mean, it's not the first thought that pops into your mind, but, well, she's 18 years old. I don't know if that would be grooming. I mean, she hated. She didn't even want to be there. I think he's just like a sick pervert. Hey, while we're waiting for this, what state was that he died in? Wasn't it Kentucky? And what was his name again? His full name was. Shit. What's his first name? Oh, Frank, right? No, Rourke. God dang it. My brain just went poof. And we're on page 52 of 101. Hello! What was his name again? It's Rourke. I know the last name. But for some reason, my brain didn't do it. Hey, thanks, Alifair M. Appreciate it. Tiny waves? Yeah, maybe. Just everything. It was weird how it kind of just slowed down on a dime, you know. Yeah, was it Frank? I thought that was Frank. Hold on, I can get it in a second. Ew. It's on page 78 now. Yeah, Fred. That's right. Fred Rourke. All right. I like to see if that was in here. It was Kentucky, right? Yeah, let's do that. It was 1978. A camping vehicle on the property of Mrs. William Fudge on Tuesday. Fred Rourke, Lynn Fire Chief. He's a fire chief in that one. 1978. Indiana. Oh, I guess maybe he didn't make the paper. All right. Well, I think that's probably done. There he goes. So now let's get through there. I think we were right down to here. So now it's interesting. So they removed the body. That's the shape of the lake here. But now we have IC road bed. What's this one over here? 49 Lake Road. Okay, come on. Might not be there anymore though, right? No. Is that how it was spelled? No, Forney. Oh, Forney.
Alifez wave, ocean wave, jump on.
So that's him, the guy that owned
surf
the farm. Thanks, Aleph. Oh wait, thanks Zozo and Alifair. Wait, so what was Forney Farms? So they still have a farm situation, but it's way up here. That's not it. So Forney Lake. That's interesting. Yeah. Guys, is it that one? Look at the shape of it. Let's see if we can. Okay. So Town Hall Road. Okay, so let me rotate it to the Town Hall Road. Town Hall Road is this one, if I remember right. Yeah, Town Hall Road. Icy road bed. What do you think that means? And then limit to South 59th Street. See, 59th Street ended up being, it's like right here, right? Yeah, now I can't find it. Yeah, man, it just shot away. Yeah, there it is. '59th Street. So they have it where. Yeah, let's zoom out so we can see it. Oh, they found the shoe right here. Shoe of the victim. Wherever that is. Scalp found directly under point where the body was floating. So they pulled the body out and they found the scalp underneath it. So there's Route 163 right there. So they almost have it where it's like this way. Right? Almost like this. And then the Town Hall Road is right there, okay. But where's the point where, oh yeah, so there you go. So 59 is over here. South 59th Street, Town Hall Road, and then yeah, 163 is this way, so that makes sense. So there you go, Town Hall Road, 163 is over here. I mean, this is 1988. This isn't too far away. This should be... it looks like they try to draw it pretty close to what it would look like. That pond isn't even there at all. That's funny. I put these P's where there was no pond back then. But it's interesting how, I mean, I don't know if this is boring for you guys or not, but it's like 163 is right over here. Right there. So Highway 163. And then it said, it had on the map here an arrow pointing to Route 163. But then it has 49 Lake Road, which is the same name as that guy that lived right over here. Hilbert Forney. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's Forney. Fournie right here. And, but I don't know where his farm, you know, he lived right there in a house, but I don't know if that's where his farm was. It doesn't make sense with this. So there's Route 63. And then it shows that the pond is south of 49, you know, south of Town Hall Road. So if you kind of, almost feels like it's one of these over here. Huh. Let's see, then there's Town Hall Road there. So it would have to be like that. Wow, crazy. Good night. Hey, thank you, 2 cents. Yeah, man, this is totally, I hate when there's stuff like that that's that confusing like that. Because the only way this works is if you have to kind of go like this. And there's Town Hall Road. And the way they have it on the map is it's just straight, flat right in that spot. And this part's pretty close to that. Definitely could be something like this right here. But hey, thanks, Jennifer Lee. It is interesting. It's cool that we've got... I want to go through this more, though, because I want to look for the... I want to see what he says about him
Interesting case.
losing his gun. That's why I wanted to do the... so now I'm just going to save... Let me save it as... like, oops. I'll make that like version 2. Now that version has the text stored in it. That way you can do searchable stuff. Alright, let's see. Is this going to help at all? Rourke residence. No, we already had that. Cain vehicle. Bellevue Park Plaza. On April 2nd, 1974, the reporting officer came to the investigator's office in order to secure more information about the body of Sabrina Cain, which had been found in the Forney Lake, located off Town Hall Road in Stookie Township. So now, if you can find the exact place where Stookie or Forney Lake is. Hold on, let me try one last ditch effort here. And Leroy Forney dies at 57. Yeah, these guys all live in Belleville, so it's definitely the right guy. Place. Was born in Smithtown, surviving. Okay, let's see what it says here. Retired farmer residing on Old Freeburg Road, 5 miles south of Belleville. Forney was born, surviving are his two brothers, Lawrence Forney, 106 Wabash Avenue, and Sylvester Forney of 625. Look out, it gives everybody's address. And what was our guy's name? The Forney? It was, man, lost it. Oh, there he is. Hilbert. Okay. Wow. Man, I don't think I would have remembered that one. Harry Funk, 4th Avenue. The funeral. I don't see Hilbert in there. Let's see, is Hilbert in here? No. Definitely related, though. Yeah, I don't see it. I was just, God, that's so frustrating. I mean, this is crazy because we even have it back to 1988, which, you know, it's only 14 years later. It's brutal. I mean, that's the road. 163 is over here. 59. How did they refer to 59th? Let me look at that. And 59th, it says 0.7 miles to 59. Oh, there we go. 0.7 miles to 59th Street. So now let's do that. Wow, that was cool. I didn't see that. All right, boom. Because my guess is it was this one right here. It looked the best out of those, or one of these two. So let's get miles on there. It says 0.7, and now this stuff might make sense now. 0.47, 0.5. That's 0.8 something. That's 0.7 right there. So, I mean, that's pretty close. So, right there, one of these two, maybe. I mean, that's 0.7 miles from 59th Street. I think that's got to be it. Because it says right here, 0.7 miles to South 59th Street. And then it says, well, up here it says, well, that's off of that road, so hold on. Up on Hall Road, it says 0.5 miles to South 59th Street. So that's interesting. So it's kind of like this, I think. And I think this is the road that they're referring to. What's the name of that thing? Okay, starting to kind of fall into place now after revisiting it. What the hell's the name of this thing? 46. Okay, so they have it like that. So let me move it back. It's only going to be 0.5 miles on this road. So it's 0.58. There's 0.5. Oops. So they have it like this, though, their map. For some unknown reason, they didn't do north-south oriented. As a matter of fact, oh, it's perfect. So look, on here, they have north facing, the arrow is down. And if you look on my Google Earth right here, north is at the very bottom. So now we know for sure that this is correct. Like this, I think they have it kind of almost like this, but here's 59th Street. Here's Town Hall Road. Oh, but they're saying it's 0.5 off of 49 Lake Road, which is shit. Oh god. Oh man, so Town Hall Road. They have it where it's flat like this, but if you go with their north, then it's got to be like this. And they're saying, yeah, I think that's it right there. That's what I would guess. That would be the lake. It's the only thing. I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense. Just look at this. All right, so it's saying 0.5 miles that way. And they're saying that there was a road, though. I mean, is that a road, Forney Lake Road, that came off of right there, maybe? Or if it's still called that, that'd be great. So it's almost like this was Forney Lake Road. And then you could take this around and somehow end up like that's that road right there. Wait, God, yeah, that's almost perfect then. See, what if that's the road right there, the Forney Lake Road? So it's like this, and it's this road right here, but it's not. Well, it's not there though. That's the thing. It wasn't there back then. So it's got to be like this one, and then 0.5 miles. And maybe that's where it was right there or something. I'm gonna turn off roads again. Yeah, see, look at that. 88, you don't see anything. I'm getting dizzy myself. All right, forget it. I'm back to this. I think I think that's pretty close though. It's got to be right in that area. I don't know what this IC road bed is. Does anybody know what IC would stand for? No. Okay, forget it. All right. She stated that this was because of her stepfather. Okay, Dr. Dare was the boyfriend of Sabrina Cain. Mr. Deller. Okay, so at approximately 4 p.m., the reporting officer, Investigator Jackson, interviewed Robert G. Deller, 20, residing at, gave an address. Mr. Deller was the boyfriend of Sabrina Cain, so she had a boyfriend. At the time of her disappearance, Mr. Deller related the following. On Sunday, February 3rd, I mean, this is going to be crazy right here. So February 3rd, 1974, in the afternoon, he had taken Sabrina to a friend's house in O'Fallon, Illinois. So remember when he said she wasn't there the 2nd and 3rd? In the father, Mr. Deller related the following. On Sunday, February 3rd, 1974, in the afternoon, he had taken Sabrina to a friend's house in O'Fallon, Illinois, because she wanted to leave home. She stated this was because of her stepfather, Fred Rourke. Rourke, according to Deller, would not allow Sabrina, who at the time of her disappearance was 18, to go out on dates, to go to friends' homes, or any of the normal activities of persons that age. Deller also stated that sometime, so that means he was like jealous and controlling of her, that sometime after the 1st of December he noticed that Sabrina was becoming nervous, and when he asked her what was wrong, she would reply nothing. Around Christmas, Sabrina's spirits picked up and then seemed to fall again. Deller stated that on the 3rd of February 1974, Sabrina called her mother, Lorraine Rourke, and Lorraine promised Sabrina that if she would come home, she would help her find an apartment and help her move her clothes. Sabrina had $50, which she had given to her mother. Deller also stated that Lorraine told Sabrina to call Patty Linton and have Patty bring her home instead of Deller. Oh, wait. So Deller also stated that Lorraine, the mother, told Sabrina to call her friend Patty and have Patty bring her home instead of Deller so Fred would not be mad. Yeah, this guy's sick, man. And his stepdad, too. So that's even more... It's you know, a biological father would way less likely be that kind of creepy like that. This guy is like, you know, something else going on there. Sabrina called Patty Linton and arranged for Patty and her husband, Kurt Linton, to meet her at Bob Deller at Swansea Park. Patty and Kurt then took Sabrina home. Hey, thank you, Jessica Schubach. Ding, 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 ding. This is crazy. Deller also stated that Lorraine told Sabrina to call Patty Linton and have Patty to bring her home instead of Deller so Fred Rourke would not be mad. Sabrina called Patty Linton and arranged for Patty and her husband, Kurt Linton, to meet her and Bob Deller at Swansea Park. Patty and Kurt then took Sabrina home. Before leaving the sheriff's office, the reporting officer asked investigator Jackson to see the block and rope which was found attached to attached to the body. The concrete block was of common type, weighing approximately 50 pounds. The rope, made of nylon, was 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch twine, white with a red diamond-shaped thin line, and it is of the type commonly used in water skiing. The knots in the line were knots used in a boating or construction. A square knot was used to fasten the line to the block, and a double half hitch was around the body. Concrete blocks are used by the owner of the pickup trucks to weigh down the bed of the trucks for more traction in the winter months in snow and mud. Deller was asked if any of Sabrina's friends had a pickup truck or a boat. Deller replied that Sabrina's stepfather, Fred Rourke, owned a pickup truck and also owned a boat. He stated that Sabrina and her stepfather often water skied. Deller further stated that on Monday, February 4th, 1974, he met Sabrina at the Kmart store in Old Street, Louis Road in Bellevue, and she told him that she was going to leave home and nothing was going to stop her. She stated to Deller that she was going to wait until her stepfather, Fred Rourke... See, you wonder if there was some sort of sexual assault going on. And, you know, Fred was nervous that on her own, like, she might tell somebody. I mean, he wasn't that controlling where she could never leave the house. I mean, she obviously could get out of it, but it's just strange. Deller offered Sabrina, let's see. Deller stated that on Monday, February 4th, he met Sabrina at Kmart store, and she told him she was going to leave home and nothing was going to stop her. She stated to Deller that she was going to wait until her stepfather, Fred Rourke, was not at home to get her clothes. Deller offered Sabrina the use of his car, but she refused. Deller stated he did not see or hear from Sabrina until Tuesday, February 5th, 1974, at about or approximately 10:30 a.m. So this is the same day she went missing. He heard from her at 10:30 a.m. Deller stated he was told by Sabrina that she would call him around 6 p.m. Sabrina also said that she was going to spend the night with Patty and Kurt Linton. Wow, this is getting nutty here. And then when Patty got off from when Patty got off from work, they were going to look at an apartment. So she wasn't ready to disappear or anything at this point. The officers described the clothing that Sabrina was found in, and Deller stated that it was the same clothing that Sabrina had on when he last saw her at the Kmart on February 5th. Oh, wow. So Deller stated he did not see her or hear from Sabrina until Tuesday, February 5th. They don't say that that's where it was, but yeah. So at the Kmart, he saw her there at 10:30. Ah, the same day she went missing. The reporting officer, Investigator Jackson, then went to the apartment of Kurt Linton. Linton's wife, Patty, was not at home at the time, so Kurt W. Linton, a student at SIU Edwardsville and a part-time employee of the credit store 29th East Main Street, Bellevue, Illinois, was interviewed. Mr. Linton stated that the following: his wife Patty and Sabrina Cain were schoolmates at Belleville West and remained friends after graduation. Linton further stated that on Sunday night he and his wife received a call from Sabrina. So Sunday night was, oh, that was the 3rd. Okay. And he and his wife received a call from Sabrina and asked them if they would meet her and Bob Deller at Swansea Park, and also asked that the Lintons if they would take her. That's right. They were the people that were supposed to give her a ride. They told her they would. Linton further stated that he had received a phone call from Sabrina on Tuesday, February 5th. Okay, so she actually did call, because up here it said Patty and Sabrina were going to look for an apartment. Right, so she was going to meet Patty after. So it sounds like, right here, they told her they would. Linton further stated that he had received a phone call from Sabrina on Tuesday, February 5th, 1974 at approximately 10, so before she talked to her boyfriend. Or 10:15, asking him if he would pick her up at the National Food Store in Belleville Park Plaza Shopping Center at 4600 West Main Street in Belleville, and Linton agreed he would. After picking up Sabrina, Linton drove her to the Kmart store on Old Street, St. Louis Road in Belleville, where Sabrina got out, and he stayed in the car. Sabrina had told Linton that she wanted to talk to Bob Deller. Okay, so he's actually the one that gave her a ride to go talk to Bob. After about 20 minutes or 30 minutes, Sabrina came out and they drove to the Linton apartment. Kurt Linton's wife, Patty, arrived home for lunch at approximately 11:40 a.m. on February 5th, 1974. So this is nuts here. So now we've got her alive all the way up into 11:40 for now, and fixed lunch for the three of them. Mrs. Linton then left at approximately 12 noon to go to work again. Well, how did she get to work? Mr. Linton stated he started to do the dishes, but Sabrina said she would do Mrs. Linton was going to go to work. So she said, I'll do the dishes. But Sabrina said she would do them instead. Mr. Linton stated he began messing with the phonograph and decided to go to the Plaza Shopping Center at 46th and West Main, Belleville, to get a new phonograph needle. Mr. Linton thought he left his apartment around maybe 12:15 p.m. After getting the needle, Kurt Linton was coming out of the shopping center, waiting to make a left turn going east on bypass Route 50, when he saw Sabrina, oh boy, and her stepfather go by in front of him. They, Sabrina and Fred Rourke, were going west on bypass Route 50 towards West Main Street at approximately 12:30 p.m. or at 12:35. Mr. Linton was able to put the almost exact time because the time clock at the Crest store, 29 East Belleville, Mr. Kurt Linton stated he knew it was Sabrina because of the car, which is a blue Plymouth Satellite with a flowered vinyl top. He, Mr. Linton, also recognized Sabrina's long blonde hair and the driver of the Plymouth as her stepfather, Fred Rourke. Mr. Linton then started driving to his apartment, and he remembered that he had given Sabrina the key to his apartment. Oh boy. So he drove on to work at Crest store or Kresg apostrophe S. This key to the Linton apartment hasn't been found. So Mr. Linton then started driving to his apartment, and he remembered that he had given Sabrina the key to his apartment, so he drove on to work. That's sort of a weird, like, so he drove on to work. Wouldn't you then go follow her to get your key? This key to the Linton apartment hasn't been found. Oh, wow. Yeah. Huh. I mean, how did the stepdad actually know where to get her? You know, that's weird. Mr. Linton further stated that Sabrina was mad when he last saw her and had made up her mind to leave home. The reporting officer was able to contact Laurel D. Gonstall, employee of the Midwest Savings and Loan, Belleville, Illinois, and co-worker of Sabrina J. Cain. Miss Gonstall arrived at approximately 8:30 p.m. and related the following. She had known Miss Cain since October 1973, when Sabrina had started working at Midwest Savings and Loan. They became friends and double dated, but Miss Gonstall stated that Sabrina was not reliable about keeping dates and would often break them. Sabrina liked to talk about her clothes, and Miss Gonstall said that Sabrina, had quite an extensive wardrobe. Miss Gonstall thought Sabrina was a little immature, but a good girl. She said the other girls in the office thought that Sabrina had a strange relationship to her stepfather because of the fact that she would break dates in order to go places with her stepfather. Mr. Rourke, Mrs. Gonstall's, further stated that she thought or had gotten the impression that Sabrina had disliked her stepfather because he was so overprotective and did not allow her any freedom. Miss Gonstall said that when Sabrina first came to Midwest to work, she was an outgoing girl, but in the months of December, she had become nervous around Christmas. Her spirits improved and seemed happier. Miss Gonstall stated that on Monday, February 4th, 1974, the day before she went missing, she had driven Sabrina to the Kmart on Old Street, St. Louis Road at about 5:15 p.m. She related to Miss Gonstall that Sabrina had left home on Sunday, February 3rd, 1974, but returned home after talking to her mother, Mrs. Rourke. Sabrina's mother had promised to help her find an apartment and to help her move her clothes to Patty Linton's house, where Sabrina, was going to spend the night of February 4th, 1974. Miss Gonstall stated she spent about half an hour with Sabrina at the Kmart store on the evening of February 4th, 1974, and never saw or heard from her again. While they were talking, Sabrina told Miss Gonstall that her stepfather, Fred Rourke, had pushed her around and struck her on several occasions. One time, he had taken his hand and fingers and rubbed it off her eye makeup because Rourke did not like it on her. So he didn't like other guys finding her attractive. Only he could find her attractive. Miss Gonstall stated that she could not attend the funeral for Sabrina because of the presence of Sabrina's stepfather, Fred Rourke. Investigation is continuing, and further reports will follow. So we're only on, this is only page 12, but I kind of want to keep, going over it like another time. Why they keep blocking your comments, 2 cents? Like I have to keep approving them. Like what's wrong with saying the mother probably told him she sucks, Yeah, I don't get it. Will you guys be interested in continuing to go over this tomorrow? Because I mean, I'm kind of now, I'm like, this is crazy. Looney Tunes stuff here. How could he not be guilty at this point? Right. He didn't want her to, go with somebody else. Yeah, I mean it goes deep into here. Look at. I mean, this might be like a multi-parter type thing. Like they actually have the bullet wounds. They're interesting wounds because she was shot in the front. So you guys were saying when she was running away. But what's interesting is like it's the right front, and then I guess it goes out the right back there. So there's like 2 entry wounds right there. So she's shot in the arm, 1, 2, twice in the right chest. And then, boom, look at that one, right in the back of the head there. So that might be the one where she was shot in the head. And then she rolled over on her back, and he just came up and fired 3 shots. Interesting in the right chest, not the center where... Yeah, I want some of the narrative around him. Yeah. There's the cinder block right there. Here's the guy that found him. Let's see what they say. James Warner stated that he and Cletus, I mean, come on. 1974. Who wasn't named Cletus? Okay. Well, James wasn't, but James Warner stated that he and Cletus Ramsey were target shooting along the old icy railroad bed. Ah, the railroad bed. That's what that was. Okay, and there it is. Right there's one right there. Oh, now I gotta go. Ah, crap. Forget it. I'll do that later. But now I know what that means. Okay, along the old icy railroad bed south of Route 460. Didn't somebody mention something about 460 earlier? Ah, it doesn't exist now. I wonder if that... No, that's not that one. Running from South 59th to South 74th. Okay, so it says south of Route 460, running from South 74th Street, 59th to 74th. So that's 59th. How about... Ah, there we go, there we go. Wow, just right there? Is that... Wait, where is it? Okay, there's 74th Street. Okay, so now we see... Let me flip it around to the way they had it, though. So that's 74th, so this is probably 74th right there. I would guess. Let me see. See, now it's Cloverleaf School Road, but if you look at it, the way that's lined up, it probably... That's 74th right there. Oops. Shit. So they had it about like this. Yeah, so it's right in here, 59th. So somewhere, yeah, I mean, it's like we're in the right ballpark here. Wait, hold on. Did I just accidentally stumble upon that? Let me see. What page is this? This is page 84. Let me go back up to the pond here. And then that's kind of got some of it. There's one right there that sort of looks like that. But anyways, gave it another shot. I still think, well, I was thinking it was one of these ones over here, but yep, there's 63. Alright, so that was page 84. Let me go back down. I just want to finish that guy's letter. Then we'll get the hell out of here. Alright. We'll draw for the... So anyways, it said, as they entered the area of Forney Lake, they saw what appeared to be a body floating in the middle of the lake. Werner and Ramsey went to the nearby residence of Deputy Holing and told him about their finding. Deputy Holing notified the department, and I arrived at 12:40 p.m. in car 52. Holing showed me what appeared to be a body floating in the middle of the lake, approximately 30 feet from either shore. Civil defense was called to the scene. Ken Kaufman and Gary Hopfinger entered the lake with a CD boat at 1:35 p.m. The body was floated to the shore. It appeared to be a white female with a concrete block tied around her waist. The block had rope, and rope was taken by investigator Jackson. Pictures were taken by Deputy Smitsky. Coroner Cain advised that Gardner's ambulance and Deputy Coroner Dennis Corte be called. Deputy Coroner Corte arrived and pronounced the decomposed body dead. Jeez. The way they worded that is crazy. At 2:15 p.m., the body was taken to the Gardner. The body was dressed in a green jacket and blue-brown plaid pants. And that's the same clothing that she was wearing when she saw her boyfriend. Same clothing she was wearing at her friend's house. And the same clothing that she was wearing when she was seen in the car with her stepdad. Right? Anyways. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, yeah, we'll have to keep going over that if you guys are interested. I might even do like a little... Maybe I'll try to do some kind of like live in the daytime for an hour, just going over part of it again, you know. Absolutely nuts. So, thank you to Rhea Mazzarone, Kathy Friedmaker, Colin Pendleton, Tawny Lee, Brenda R, Amber Maiden, Sabrina Hennessy, 2 cents, Lane S, and Crystal aka Beaver Gaming sub Crystal, and 2 cents again, thank you. Miss Ryan, Charisma, Norm Scanlon, Zozo, Amber Maiden, Sabrina Rodriguez, Alifair M, Zozo, Jennifer Lee, and Jessica Schubach. And let's see. And also we have TTJO Tracy, Your Gypsy, let's see, Quit Your Bitchin', and Lillian, thank you very much. And B Mountains. Thank you. All right, you guys. Those are on PayPal there. So thank you guys very much. Yeah, we're going to we'll just go through that whole damn thing. I mean, it's so awesome. That's what I'm saying, man. If you can somehow get FOIA request information, you can absolutely dig through stuff and figure out stuff. Because in this one right here, I mean, somebody else got it. It was just online. I just randomly stumbled upon it. And I was like, and that's what that 2018 article had information in, but they left out a lot of the really important stuff. I mean, my God, that article left out the crucial information from the 5th, where she sees her boyfriend, she goes over to the house, and the guy in the house saw her being driven away by her stepfather. You know? Crazy. Might be something where we put it all together, then I'll have to do like a video that's shorter and just point by point, you know. Yeah, well, the jurors probably didn't get to hear half the information. I want to know what that she wouldn't have got a ride with the guy. I mean, her stepfather must have tracked her down to the house she was at, went to the door, and because didn't the guy leave for a little bit? Like he went to the store or something, and he must have got her in between that time. Or maybe she called home. I mean, you'd love to see the phone records on some of this stuff. But anyways, thank you guys for supporting the channel tonight. We didn't make it into mug territory again, but we'll do the notebook spin, right? So. No, that's not what IC stood for, Jennifer. It's part of a railroad track. All right, so here we go. Ooh, what happened? God, that stupid thing is messed up again. Hold on. Well, I'm just going to have to do it manually. I'm going to bring this over like this. So here comes the spin. Everybody? There we go. Shuffle, 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 and... Look at that, 2 cents, you won. All right. 2 cents, you won the notebook. So just send me on Facebook your address and I'll send it over there, all right? Don't worry, I've seen 1,000 pictures of your home on your Facebook page, so, you know. But thank you. And here it is, right there, everybody. Looks just like me, except my hat's on backwards in the notebook. Well, you won this time. You know, it comes down to odds. You had 8 in there, but so did the people. There was 2 people that sent. They get a notebook anyways because they sent in 25 on PayPal. But there we go. Yeah, stunning likeness. Yeah, yeah. Well, it is me. I just did Photoshop and removed stuff so it looks like a sketch kind of. All right, everybody. Thank you all for being here tonight. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Not sure what's going on with a lot of stuff isn't working right now. But yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. And if you guys are, I mean, put a 1 if you're interested in continuing to go through this FOIA document. I mean, unless there's some breaking news on something else, I'm going to do it. Hey, you're still there, Crystal AKA Beaver Gaming. Hey, you gotta change your name. You gotta put the C at the end because it's supposed to be Crystal AKA Beaver Gaming sub Crystal. You remember that? So you're missing a C from the end. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad you're doing better there, Crystal. It was awesome. It was like the longest name in history. It was used to have it all spelled out too. It was, and that was part of the whole thing. You know, it's like I don't know why people change their names when it was always fun to say. You know, like Lanky Tor when she switched it over to some kind of, you know, like Lanky Tor Brown Almighty crap, and it was ridiculous, right? But so anyways, thank you guys very much. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. And thanks again for everybody for supporting the channel. I know it's harder times right now, but you know, the but is that we've got like a mission over here. We're trying to get to the $100,000 in a 3-year period for charities and the DNA fund. I think we'll do it anyways. But all right, you guys. Thank you very much. And be safe out there. And a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a... Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a... Not even one crime dissector.
What are you trying to imitate me, you idiot?
Certified human lie detector.
Why are you trying to imitate me, Greg? God!
Stretcher, if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture.
Crime collector,
Freak connector.
and I'm always gonna be a protector.
Fool deflector.
Hey, Greg, what happened to the music? It stopped for a
And
second.
I'm meaner than a don't specter know, with a apparently. I
Oh,
don't vector know.
uh,
on his pector. With all respect, y'all. Just remember I've a temple fucking check ya. I have no agenda. I'm no pretender. And I'll serve it to you
You
straight
sang
without
without
the
the blender.
And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you later.
It's the house!
There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
That's scary, Greg. Mosquitoes the size of bald eagles?
That's what he said.
There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
That's what I thought he said.
I know, but you said, never mind. Forget it. Bye-bye.